Hey guys, good morning.
Good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr.
Good
Mendez
morning,
right
guys.
now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
Good morning.
Hey guys, this is Kathy, Brian's wife. Last year I got Brian a My Pillow for Christmas and it was his favorite present.
That's right, Kathy. In fact, I loved My Pillow so much, I got you one and Emily one the following week. And then a few months later, I got a My Pillow pet bed for our dog Nina.
Our entire household sleeps on a My Pillow, and I have to say, a My Pillow will give you the best sleep of your life.
It's not just height. There's a reason the My Pillow is so popular. It will actually help you sleep deeper and you will wake up rested.
If you're looking for the perfect gift for someone you care about, a My Pillow is the way to go.
And if you know someone with
All
pets,
right.
a My Pillow pet bed is a great gift.
Guys, just
There are
setting
so
up,
many
just
awesome
setting up.
products at mypillow.com. You're bound to find the perfect gift for everyone on your list, and they can be shipped directly to the recipient.
When you order at mypillow.com, make sure to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Good morning.
Great radio discounts like the BOGO 2-for-1 My Pillow.
I better get my headphones
Buy one
out.
My Pillow and get the second one for free when you use the promo code KANE. And pet beds, just $19.99 when you use the promo code KANE at checkout.
This Christmas, make it a My Pillow Christmas.
Order at mypillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879. From our house
Welcome.
to your house. Merry Christmas.
Oops.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift.
Okay, here we go.
To Tamalino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation.
Welcome. Make sure you guys subscribe.
Call 1-855-FLA-3782. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays.
What's the date?
And
It's the
overnights,
18th.
Midnight till 6 a.m., 7 days a week. To call the show.
Yes. All right, welcome everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977. This, of course, the most pro-Trump radio show in America. Welcome, one and all. We are live weekday mornings from 6 until 9 a.m. And this time tomorrow, our great president very well may be impeached. And, of course, being impeached for what? For making America great again and vowing to keep it great. That's what has them so upset. They're going to have their talk, and then they're going to vote just in time for the primetime news and the afternoon drive news as the Democrats attempt to interfere in the 2020 presidential election. And in fact, I think we can all agree that they have interfered in the 2020 presidential election. However, not in their favor. Lots of things to talk about. We'll talk about all those things. Your calls certainly are welcome. And also, I've been doing this slowly over the last, months. I'm consolidating, I've got so much going on so far as running the radio show and my podcast and all of the social media that is involved in it. And it's becoming overwhelming because, when you're the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, a lot of things you start doing when they're new, and as new things come out, you add new things and everything else. And before you know it, you've got so many different things going on. And so far as social media, I am consolidating what we're doing on social media because I cannot run all of it. I don't have social media managers, nor do I have a budget for social media managers. So what I am doing is I'm not completely done with it. I'm not completely done, and we are on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm on Snapchat and all of these things. But we have so many different social media accounts on so many different platforms. I have no choice but to consolidate, because what's going on is I have so many things going on. A lot of them are getting ignored. So we are consolidating on the different platforms. So I started doing this. If you go to stevekaneshow.com, K-A-N-E, stevekaneshow.com, I've started doing this. So far as Facebook goes, okay, I'm not going to talk about this endlessly, but I just want people to know because people are asking me. As far as Facebook goes, I am consolidating everything into 2 Facebook groups, which is a reduction from about the 5 or 6 groups that I had. There is a Steve Kane fan group, and there's a Brian Craig Show podcast group. And I have both of those linked up at stevekaneshow.com right now. That is where we will be doing all of our Facebooking, okay? The Steve Kane fan club and the Brian Craig Show podcast group. Got too many things going on. I got to consolidate a little bit. You know, these big companies and all these big guys, they got social media managers, they've got staff. I got nobody. Got me and Steve, 2-man band. My wife helps out a lot too. It's too much. So if you go to stevekaneshow.com, there is a Steve Kane fan page and a Brian Craig Show podcast group. They're both right there at stevekaneshow.com on the front page. You will see them. Of course, on Twitter, Brian Craig Show on Twitter. On Instagram, Brian Craig Show. And I'm also on Snapchat. A lot of people contact me through Snapchat. It's a good way to get in touch with me, Brian Craig Show on Snapchat. If you're over the age of 40, you may have a difficult time figuring out Snapchat, but you can reach me there. But anyway, it's linked up right there. Our Facebook group's there, and it's just too much going on. So far as live streaming, for the foreseeable future, the live video stream, just for the foreseeable future, this may change. This is not written in stone, but I'm going to do this for the foreseeable future. I will only be live streaming on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube. Okay, Brian Craig on YouTube. So if you want to watch us live stream, you got to go there. Just too many things going on, and I gotta consolidate. We're too spread out. So Brian Craig on YouTube is where you want to go to watch us live stream the radio show online. I also upload my podcast to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube. So that's what's going on, guys. And there you go. Boom. So if you go to stevekaneshow.com, follow the Steve Kane fan group. It's right there. You'll see it on the left column of stevekaneshow.com and the Brian Craig Show podcast page, all right? Now, you know, this is the second impeachment I've been through, and it's really the second impeachment that anyone alive has been through, because contrary to what the media and the Democrats would like you to think, President Nixon was not impeached. Bill Clinton was, and President Trump is about to be impeached today for doing nothing wrong, right, other than beating the Democrats in the last election and an expectation of beating them in the next election. And what is going on with these Democrats is really a disgrace. There's such a different tone in this impeachment and the 1998 impeachment of Bill Clinton. And, you know, we were on the air then, so we lived through it. Donald Trump is an innocent man, and everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. Bill Clinton was dirty then, and he's dirty now. They got a criminal enterprise going on, the Clinton crime family, right? Clinton crime family is a label they've earned. And, you know, it's amazing what is going on here with this kangaroo House of Representatives hearing, which is really, you want to talk about abuse of power. Look at the Democrats in the House of Representatives, how they have abused their power. It's disgusting. Democracy will survive this because the Senate is going to dispense with this very quickly. It'll be tossed out, and this president will not be removed from office. Okay? That's the way it is. Right? It's an exercise the Democrats are putting on to try to influence the 2020 election. They want to have an impeached president to run against. So they're making it happen. They think it'll wound him. It's only going to make him stronger. But a big difference there's a lot of differences between this impeachment and the 1998 impeachment of Bill Clinton. Of course, the most important one is that Bill Clinton was doing crime, and Donald Trump has done nothing wrong, nothing illegal. But the tone of the defense of President Trump versus President Clinton in 98 is completely different. Like now what you're hearing is this is a sham, it's a coup, he did nothing wrong. Back when Bill Clinton was being impeached, even the media and the Democrats were not saying Bill Clinton did nothing wrong. None of them said that. I remember so clearly. Do you remember what Democrats and the liberal media said during the lead up to the 1998 impeachment of Bill Clinton and the trial? Remember what they said? They never said he did nothing wrong or broke the law. They said this is a matter between a husband and a wife. This is between Bill Clinton and Mrs. Clinton. This is between President Clinton and First Lady Hillary Clinton. They never said he did nothing wrong because he did a lot wrong. Now you could debate whether or not he should have been impeached or not. I don't know. You know, it seems Ken Starr. You know, I was listening to Ken Starr giving analysis on Fox. I can't stand Ken Starr. Ken Starr is so much of the reason why we are where we are today. Ken Starr got so out of hand with what he was doing back in the 90s. He was brought in as a special counsel to investigate the Whitewater land dealings. And that turned into Paula Jones and Monica Lewinsky. And that's what got him impeached, which is a little far afield from the Whitewater land deal. In fact, Ken Starr was so out of control with getting out of the scope of what he was doing that they changed the special counsel laws so that there couldn't be someone going so far off the plantation as Ken Starr did. And I'm listening to Ken Starr yesterday, and I'm not even hearing him. I just heard the introduction, and I got really angry because we are here because of him. You know, what Democrats are doing, they're doing a lot of things here, okay? They're interfering in the 2020 election, no doubt. But a lot of what's going on here is revenge for the impeachment of Bill Clinton. That's what a lot of this is. The Republicans impeached Bill Clinton 21 years ago, so they want to impeach this president. They would have impeached George W. Bush if it were not for 9/11, right? If we had not been a nation in war, they would have impeached G.W. Bush probably to get even, but they couldn't do it, so they had to skip him. So they've been waiting. So this is all about revenge, a cycle of revenge. Hatfield and McCoy's here. Republican establishment versus Democrat establishment. That's a lot of what's going on here. And I'm so uninterested in anything Ken Starr has to say when they bring him in for analysis, because he got so far out of the scope of what his investigation was supposed to be into the Clintons that he got into Monica Lewinsky. He was investigating the Whitewater land dealings. How did that turn into Monica Lewinsky? Oh, yeah, it was great radio. That was the golden age of radio. O.J., Menendez brothers, the Bill Clinton impeachment. Those were exciting times in the news. You think this is exciting? Oh, boy. But not once did any Democrat say that he did nothing wrong. They were all saying, it's a matter between him and his wife. And, you know, there were a lot of people out there on the wrong side of the issue defending Bill Clinton's using this 21-year-old intern as a receptacle for himself, if you get my drift. Disgusting stuff was going on with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. And Democrats, when they take their positions and abuse them for political purposes, they destroy themselves. You know, the feminist organization, the primary feminist organization that you have not heard from in years is NOW. Remember NOW? National Organization for Women. And when Bill Clinton was being accused of sexual harassment by Paula Jones, and when the sexual harassment between President Clinton and 21-year-old intern Monica Lewinsky came out, the National Organization for Women, they defended Bill Clinton. This is between President Clinton and his wife. They were defending a sexual harasser. And a lot of conservatives said in 1998, this is the last we're ever going to hear of now. The National Organization for Women will become irrelevant after this. And you know what? They were right. When is the last time you've heard the National Organization for Women on television, interviewed, staging a protest, you never hear from them anymore. They destroyed themselves because they sold out their principles for political purposes. They are an organization meant to defend women and women's rights and stop sexual harassment in the workplace, et cetera, et cetera. And they defended Bill Clinton for doing all the things that their charter said that they were against. And they were, boom, gone. The Democrats are doing that to themselves as a party right now. Even among Democrats, more Democrats in the latest poll are opposed to impeachment. They're going against their own party base right now, the Democrats, because they have weak candidates that don't have a chance to get elected to anything. If they were running for dog catcher, they couldn't get elected. So they're trying to interfere in the 2020 election. And like when they shoved Obamacare against the will of the voters, it's going to cost them the House of Representatives, which is a good thing. But I don't want President Trump impeached. Let's take our first break of the day. Oh, man, it's Wednesday. I'm Brian Craig. Impeachment Wednesday, people. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Homeowners, would you like to save money each and every month? Of course you would. We all want to save more money. But how? By calling I Will Advisors. That's how. At 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. And have their expert team review your homeowner's policy. I Will Advisors will review your policy at no charge. Most homeowners never review the policy, but it should be reviewed every
Welcome,
year.
guys.
Your commercial
Yeah, those
policy
links are at
and
stevekaneshow.com.
policy. So what are you waiting for? Call I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Well, this is Steve Kane, and I'm here with William Youngerman from William Youngerman Inc., trading in, I guess they call it scrap gold. In other words, if people have old jewelry that's been passed on to them, stuff they don't use, what's the best way to handle the scrap jewelry?
There's a lot going on right now in this area because of the attention gold is getting and the higher price that it's at. People advertising, come to parties, all kinds of mail it in to sell your scrap. The only reason to ever sell gold, as far as I'm concerned, is when you have one, either a better place for the money, you're not wearing it, you're not using it, or if you have it in a form such as scrap or pieces of broken chain and everything else that have no easily understandable value attached to them. So what we're recommending people to do is, one, get rid of things that you don't wear and enjoy. Gold is an investment even if you're wearing it on your neck and you're enjoying it. If you're not, then take it and then trade it in. If you don't need the money for something else, trade the gold scrap in for something that's an identifiable, easily recognizable, tradable form of gold, which would be something like a 1 ounce gold bar or a half-ounce gold coin or some equal amount of gold, so that you're not just taking dollars that you're going to spend and waste somewhere, but you're actually converting that scrap gold into something that is easily tradable, and that all you have to do is look at the television or look at the paper to find out the price of gold or listen to our reports, and you know that if you have 2 ounces of gold, it's worth X number of dollars. The next thing is to know that who you're dealing with when you're trading it in. Get a couple of offers on it. Don't just go to these to mail it in and take your chances. You do your homework, you'll get the most for your gold, and then you'll be able to get a form of gold that's easily recognizable and tradable, and it is an insurance policy for you.
A good place to go is William Youngerman Inc. at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's in the Bank America building. You can call William at 1-800-327-5010 or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All righty, we are back. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Impeachment Wednesday. They're all excited. You know, it's amazing to me, too, how many Americans don't understand the impeachment process. I know most of you do. This is talk radio. You're an informed, educated audience. And I don't mean educated with some advanced college degree. You have life experience, work experience, things like that. But, I mean, I see people even in our chat on YouTube, you know, they think impeachment means a removal. No. An impeachment is kind of, it's like an indictment in a grand jury, and then it goes to a trial in the Senate. And McConnell said yesterday, after opening arguments, that's it. Opening arguments, vote, dismiss it. Done. Which is amazing. And I hope that's the way it plays out. And those opening arguments should be short and sweet. We've heard it all before. Let's get it over with. Let's get this over with. I don't want President Trump impeached, and I don't want a trial. And a lot of people are saying they do. I don't. I don't want either of those things. This president is a great president. Donald Trump, I mean, think about it. Donald Trump is the first truly freely elected president of the United States. And I mean that. You know, if you go back to everything over the years, you know, of every president from Washington, every president from Washington up until Barack Obama was a politically connected establishment politician. All of them. Even Eisenhower. All of them. Donald Trump is the first non-politician to make it to the presidency. You know, I know some people say, well, what about someone like General Grant? To become a general, believe me, you're very political. Those promotions come through congressional committees, people like Eisenhower, and, you know, so high-ranking flag officers are very politically connected people. This is the first president to be accountable not to the political party, not to the donors, but directly to the voters who elected them. We've never had that happen. Not even Ronald Reagan. Someone just mentioned Ronald Reagan in the YouTube live chat. By the way, if you watch the live stream on YouTube, Brian Craig on YouTube, there's a chat room that goes in there, people talking back and forth. A whole discussion goes on during the entire show that you can be a part of, Brian Craig on YouTube. Ronald Reagan was governor of California. He was very well connected. During the 1976 Republican convention, President Ford, who was never elected, fell into the vice presidency, fell into the presidency. There was talk that President Ford should not be given the nomination. And there was talk in the build-up to the 1976 Republican convention, there was talk that Ronald Reagan should be the nominee at the top of the ticket, and President Ford should be at the bottom of the ticket as vice president. That, you know, it didn't turn out that way, but they were talking about that. So I'm a big fan and love Ronald Reagan, don't misunderstand me, but he was political establishment Republican too. Every president we've had has been either owned by the donors or part of the political establishment prior to Trump. And that's a lot of what's going on here. And I was talking about this on my podcast last night a little bit. I'll give you an example. Have you ever worked somewhere, have you ever worked for a company and it got bought and new management came in? All the old management was gone, new management came in, and they're in the place where you've been working for years. Employees feel like the people that bought the company and moved in, they don't belong. This is my home, right? That's a lot of what's going on here with Trump, with the political establishment. He's a complete outsider, not connected to any of them, owes no favors to any of them, and they just don't feel he belongs. And this two-party system that we've had going on here. I mean, look, as popular as Teddy Roosevelt was, he left after his own term, came back, tried to run third party, and he couldn't do it. And he was an establishment guy. This two-party system we've had in place is really a scam for the powers that be to force upon us candidates and presidents. We have a choice of two, and they decide who we choose from. And it really doesn't matter. It's almost like they're taking turns with who's going to be the president. You know, and having Donald Trump win in 2016 is almost like having a third-party populist candidate win. It's very much like a third-party candidate winning. In fact, maybe it is, because the Republicans were trying so hard to stop it. And they just can't have it. They're having a fit. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E. And the number 1, 888-GO-KANE-1. I'm Brian Craig. It's Wednesday. You're on the radio. What's your name? Hey, Richie. Richie, we don't need to know Richie's name. We know by the voice.
Turned on. I woke up this morning at 5:09. Okay, and I turned on Channel 5, West Palm Beach, which is an affiliate of NBC. Mm-hmm. And they brought up the impeachment. They said 50% of Americans want Trump impeached. 49%, this is their poll, 49% don't want him impeached. 42% say he's doing a good job. 58% of the country says he's doing a bad job. This is what you got. You have media that are so dishonest. They are the reason why we're in the situation we're in. I don't blame the Democratic Party. I blame the media, man. The media is so biased, so one-sided. When you got this shift going on Colbert,
Yeah.
the impeachment, and going on all these shows, this is a circus, man. This is a plot to get rid of Trump. Through the media, the media, whether it be the late night shows, Colbert and all of them, Fallon, all of them, and the news.
Yeah.
The national news, it's a big coup against Trump. It's really ridiculous.
Well, I'll tell you, you're right. It's always been this way. I mean, we all grew up hearing with Hearst, remember the Maine fake news headline got us in the Spanish-American War. The media have always been pushing public opinion in certain ways. No doubt about it. I mean, yeah.
A great time in this country when you take a look at the jobs and people working. I mean, when Obama was president and people were out of work, it was a disaster. And the food stamps have been cut back, and our trade, we're looking good in the world. Our soldiers are coming home. And for a station like Channel 5,
Yeah, it's disgusting.
42% say he's doing a good job. What the heck is...
That's unfortunate. Channel 5, that's WPTV, right? I watch them, and I've watched them for years, and I've always had respect for the local news in Palm Beach. And for them to have some fraud poll like that out there, I'll give them a break and say incompetence. But, I mean, that's absurd. That's completely absurd.
They live in a different universe, man. I mean...
Maybe you don't like Trump. Well, it's one thing to not like Trump or not agree with him on the issues, but how could someone say he's not doing a very good job when the economy is going like gangbusters here?
Best economy, and I'm 70 years old, 71. This economy is the best I've ever seen it. This
economy is better than the economy after the Second World War, because when the soldiers came home, it put all the women out of work. You know what I mean? So this economy very well may be the best economy in many ways that America has ever seen under Donald Trump.
If they tell you 42% say that he's doing...
Yeah.
8% of Americans don't think so. But this is such crap. And like Steve gets on there and he worries about the polls with you. And you tell him these polls are fake polls. Man, they are super fake polls. And the news, I hate to say this, the news, the media suck.
And it's all fake. It's all fake. All right, Richie. Yeah, they do. They suck. Richie said it. The media suck. They do. All right, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. It's Impeachment Wednesday, people. Let's take our break here, and we'll be back. Don't you go anywhere.
So you've been told you need a medical test. What are you going to have to pay? Health test can be very expensive if you go to your doctor's office or to one of the big labs. It can cost you hundreds of dollars. Sometimes I haven't had tests because of the cost. Then I discovered Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. Any Lab Test Now of Plantation's goal is to save you money and get you in and out in 15 minutes or less. At Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, you never need an appointment. You can walk right in and have one of their thousands of tests done for just a fraction of what the big labs or your doctor's office charges. Give them a call, 954-916-1072, 954-916-1072. Tell them what test you need, and they will give you a quote right over the phone, 954-916-1072. Any Lab Test Now at Plantation is located in the Jacaranda Plaza. That's the public shopping center in Plantation, just west of University Drive, on the north side of Sunrise Boulevard. Any Lab Test Now at Plantation, private and affordable lab testing, 954-916-1072.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes.
Where did I put those?
Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 inserts. Call the sole authority today. 954-597-7060.
This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about Dr. Mitch Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. He's my anti-aging doctor. That's right, I have an anti-aging doctor now. This year, I turned 45, and I was starting to slow down a bit. I met with Dr. Matez, and he found that my testosterone level was low. We men begin losing our testosterone starting at age 30, and it goes down every year after that. Dr. Matez told me I was approaching the beginning of andropause. That's the male equivalent of menopause. I began bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. They're tiny little pellets inserted under my skin, and now my testosterone levels are being restored to where they were when I was 25 years old. Thanks to Dr. Matez, I have more energy, I feel better, I look better, my love life, it's better, and my wife, she's thanking Dr. Matez too. Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy isn't just for men, it works wonders for women by reversing the symptoms of menopause, like the night sweats and the mood swings. Men and women, you don't have to live with the negative effects of aging, like loss of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located in Boca, and his website is hormonetherapybocaraton.com. Or give him a call, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And tell him Brian Craig sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
With what, David?
Just search.
All righty, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Welcome, welcome. Oh, welcoming a new sponsor to the program this week, Dr. Troy Lemaski, chiropractic physician. Dr. Troy Lemaski is the brother of Dr. Janae Lemaski, our therapist. He's a chiropractor. I was just over his office a couple of days ago with Steve, and he's had really good chiropractor. Let me tell you something. And I have been a user of chiropractic, well, most of my life, certainly my adult life. And if you have back pain, neck pain, any kind of joint pain whatsoever, you want to call Dr. Troy Lemaski. He's located in Fort Lauderdale. He is great. His number, 954-463-3036. 954-463-3036. I told him, I said, your sister's taking care of our emotions and our minds, and you're taking care of our backs, and that's certainly the case. Dr. Troy Lemaski, chiropractic physician. Give him a call, 954-463-3036. And you'll be hearing more about Dr. Troy as the weeks go on. He's really starting next month, but we're just starting to tell you about him a little early. Oh, boy, I tell you. Yeah, so today is Impeachment Wednesday. Impeaching the guy, impeaching a completely innocent man. This is what the Democrats used to do. You know, the Democrats used to do this in the South all the time with their Democrat juries convicting innocent men of color of crimes they didn't commit. You know, the Democrats have always been the party using the justice system, well, really abusing the justice system and abusing their powers to further their political means. Whether it was their fake Democrat juries convicting innocent black men, or their Democrat juries acquitting guilty white men who committed crimes against minorities. This is what the Democrats have always done. And when President Trump yesterday made the Salem witch trials comment, you know, he said the witches in Salem had a better opportunity to defend themselves than I have. No doubt about that. And I know the mayor of Salem is attacking the president. You know why the mayor of Salem, Massachusetts, is attacking the president today? To let people know to come to Salem to be, you know, it's a tourist trap town. But this is like the Salem witch trials. This is like one of those lynching trials. This is disgusting. And, you know, what the Democrats have done, Pelosi and all the rest, they're going to go down in history with great names like Joe McCarthy. Because, I mean, that's really what this is a lot like, isn't it? Joe McCarthy. Dr. Mudd, right? Another great name in American history. Benedict Arnold. That's where they're going to go with this. Yeah, and it's out of our power to stop these Democrats in the House from doing what they're doing. It'll be corrected in the Senate soon. But they're going to, this is, Nancy Pelosi, Nadler, Schiff, he doesn't care. They're going to go down in history as dirty, corrupt congressmen who abuse their authority, abuse their positions, and abuse their committees, just like Joe McCarthy. Now, Joe McCarthy was right. He was right. He got a little crazy at the end, maybe, but he was right, at least in the beginning. But they're going to go down in a very negative way over this. And you got to look at the big picture here. Democrats are all about immediate gratification. They don't care about today, tomorrow. They care about this moment, this particular moment in time. They're not even concerned about the afternoon. And the Democrats really are not looking at the long term. It's what I said at 6. Bill Clinton, the Bill Clinton defenders, the Democrats never said he did nothing wrong. They just said it's a private matter between a husband and a wife because they knew he was guilty. They never said Bill Clinton was not guilty and was being railroaded and was an innocent man. And that is all you're hearing from President Trump himself and from his defenders, and now even the majority of Democrats who were polled. All right, you're on the radio. Good morning. Hey, Steve.
Well, you touched on this yesterday. I went and saw the movie Richard Jewell yesterday.
Yeah.
You know something? I actually got angry, really angry, and I'll tell you, when all this garbage is over with Trump and they start making the real background movies, these people, well, let me back up. The initial reporter, they made her look like a psychopathic prostitute.
Yeah.
Story. The FBI agent that gave her the story was a bumbling fool. He told her about Jewel, and this started everything. But the one thing I think Clint Eastwood missed in the end, and I had to do it myself, is what happened to these people? What happened to them afterwards? What was the repercussions? And I looked it up, and Richard Jewell and his attorney sued everybody, all of them. And the one that got burned the most, which is really strange, was there's a college professor who fired him, and he was the guy who actually led the FBI to Richard Jewell and started all this.
Yeah. Is the movie a good movie? Is it a good movie? Is it enjoyable? It's good, very good?
I went to an early showing. I'd say there was about 40 people in the theater.
Yeah. Well, for an early showing during the week, that's how it is. If I go to I'm going to see Star Wars on Friday. I'll be in the first showing after I get off the air. I'll probably be one of 10 people in the theater, and that's Star Wars, This thing with the Richard Jewell movie, because I remember, I think all of us just assumed Richard Jewell was guilty, this poor guy, and he was actually there helping save people during the Olympic bombing aftermath, and they destroyed him, the fake news media and the FBI, and it's amazing he had a life after.
One thing that got me was the relentlessness that the FBI and the papers went after this guy. They didn't stop, day after day, and it was I think it said 88 days later they finally gave him a letter. They gave him a letter saying, "Okay, you're not on."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, these bozos did the same thing with Trump. Oh, you're not the subject of the investigation.
Yeah.
But when you watch this movie, it's relentless.
Well, that's why it's being suppressed, because the media don't want people to see it, and it exposes them. It exposes the same people that were involved in the spy operation on Trump Tower. I mean, this statement from the FISA court yesterday was amazing, condemning the FBI for giving false statements to the FISA court. I mean, this is absolutely that was a stunning. The era of J. Edgar Hoover never ended. It's always been J. Edgar Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover set the FBI up to be a certain thing, and it is the same way today that it was when Hoover was running it. It's never changed.
Well, the sad thing is you have all these FBI agents, just they're working stiffs like you and me, and their reputation is in the toilet. I mean, these people, Mueller and McCabe and the rest of them, they literally destroyed the premier investigation division of the United States government, turned it into a toilet. It's sad. It really is. And I don't understand why these working stiff agents who are able to come out and find out information don't all start being whispered.
Well, it's the political wing, you know. It's mostly the Washington-based bureau. It's not the agents around the country that are this way. And so far as the Olympic bombing, you know, that was a terrorist event. So you get the politicians involved in that. You know, the political wing of the FBI gets involved, the directors and all that. So it's a different thing. The FBI nationwide are good people. I've known FBI agents. I've known many federal agents in my time. You know, it's like Broward Sheriff's Office. Broward Sheriffs are one of the best police departments and best officers in the country. It's just the political leadership that's had all the problems.
Everybody out there, go see this Richard Jewell. I mean, I've been in movies where I've cried, I've laughed. This is the first movie I've ever watched in my life where I got angry.
Yeah.
Really angry.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood's still the best.
Well, you know, the thing about the media, because the media did do, it was more than, the media pushed that Richard Jewell angle. I don't think there was a single person. You know, they did a similar thing with the Gainesville killer. Danny Rawlings was the Gainesville serial killer. But before Danny Rawlings, there was another guy, I can't remember his name. He was a friend of mine. I couldn't believe. There was another guy that the media pegged as a suspect who was involved in a elder abuse situation with his elderly mother. This guy got arrested for tuning up his mother. And the media were labeling this guy as the Gainesville killer for a while Danny Rawlings was still on the loose. The media, they don't fact check. They don't care. They want to rush. They want to have a headline. They're sensationalizing everything. And they come to conclusions way too fast. They don't care whose lives they destroy. You know, and the media make a living pushing agendas and destroying people's lives, and they don't care.
Sued, and guess what? They didn't pay a dime. The ruling was they were just reporting information they were getting.
Yeah. The media won complete immunity. You know, and sadly, Richard Jewell is no longer with us. The reporter in question from the Atlanta, I think it's the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, she's passed away too. And I so wish that Richard Jewell was alive to feel the redemption of this movie by Clint Eastwood. You know, he went on and had a life, and Richard Jewell went on to actually become a deputy sheriff in Georgia, I believe. I don't know if it was Georgia or Tennessee, but he became a deputy sheriff.
He got a lot of money. All that money went to the lawyer.
Well, that's how it works. That's how it works. Yeah. All right, Steve. Appreciate the call. All right. Yeah, that was terrible what happened to Richard. I remember that Olympic bombing like it was yesterday, and what they did, what the fake news media did to Richard Jewell was just awful. Awful. All right, let's take our last break of the first hour. My name's Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO, Kane 1-888-465-2671. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez
Welcome, everyone. Make
examined
sure you
him from
subscribe.
head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just
Be
had
right
a
back,
lot of work
guys.
done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you. Hey guys, this is Kathy,
Yes,
Brian's
yes.
wife. Last year I got Brian a MyPillow for Christmas, and it was his favorite present.
That's right, Kathy. In fact, I loved MyPillow so much, I got you one and Emily one the following week. And then a few months later, I got a MyPillow pet bed for our dog, Nina.
Our entire household sleeps on a MyPillow, and I have to say, a MyPillow will give you the best sleep of your life.
It's not just height. There's a reason the MyPillow is so popular. It will actually help you sleep deeper, and you will wake up rested.
If you're looking for the perfect gift for someone you care about, a MyPillow is the way to go.
And if you know someone with pets, a MyPillow pet bed is a great gift.
There are so many awesome products at MyPillow.com. You're bound to find the perfect gift for everyone on your list, and they can be shipped directly to the recipient.
When you order at MyPillow.com, make sure to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for great radio discounts, like the BOGO 2-for-1 MyPillow offer. Buy one MyPillow and get the second one for free when you use the promo code KANE. And pet beds, just $19.99 when you use the promo code KANE at checkout.
This Christmas, make it a MyPillow Christmas.
Order at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879. From our house to your house. Merry Christmas.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Yes, and don't forget MyPillow.com. Use that promo code Kane. These make great gifts. I mean, just incredible gifts, the MyPillow products. Express shipping is available, so have no fear. Your gift can arrive before Christmas, and you can even have it delivered directly to the recipient, which I know a lot of people do. Because my wife and I have been getting Christmas gifts from people. Make sure you use that promo code Kane. It's a great way to, well, make the recipient happy because My Pillows are spectacular. And it's also a great way to support this show, the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America, the Steve Kane Show. Use that promo code Kane at checkout. Oh, you know, if anyone could message me about this, my wife and I, we're painting over the week. I've been putting this off. My wife wanted me to do this when I got back from the cruise, but we are painting our living room this weekend, and we have 2 ceiling fans that the chains broke in. Have any of you out there changed the chain on a ceiling fan? I was going to go out. I thought it'd be easier to go out and get a new fan. Anybody has any experience doing that? Let me know off air. I don't need to take calls about ceiling fan repair. But I've never repaired a ceiling fan, where the chain's broken. It seems like such a hassle. But it would be a lot cheaper than buying new fans. So if anyone's got any tips on how to do that, send me an email or something. I would appreciate it. Save me some money. All right, welcome back, everyone. So much going on. So much to talk about on Impeachment Wednesday. But, you know, it's really disgusting. I'm not angry. I'm very numb. Someone said, why are you painting the living room right before Christmas? Because what happens at holiday time? People come to visit people come to visit that come to the house once a year, once every 2 years. Right after the new year, we have some people coming to stay with us for a week. So my wife wants the living room painted for all of our guests that come over at Christmas. That's why. Oh my gosh, yes, I know. We've been decluttering. I call it Marie Kondoing, if you know who Marie Kondo is. Did any of you do this? We've been decluttering the house, getting rid of all the stuff we don't use or touch in a couple of years. And now we got to paint. And I hate house painting. I hate it with a passion. I hate it. I don't have the patience for it. I really don't like it. I really don't like it. Anyway, yeah, so far as the impeachment goes, Trump needs no defense. He's done nothing wrong. I'm not even angry. What burns me, though, about the media, and Fox News in particular, is, and this is what really burns me when I see the pundits on there, that this is being treated as if it's a legitimate process. We are witnessing an attempted coup. It's been going on since the day after the election, really going on before the election, because that's when the FISA spying started. They interfered with the last election and failed. They're attempting to interfere in the 2020 election. They're trying to overturn our votes. And this impeachment trial, I'm not angry about it. I'm numb, but I'm worried too. Because when you go to a trial, it's an unknown. And this media, I saw them questioning the president yesterday. I'm going to play a clip coming up in a little bit. Next hour, I'll start to get into some of the audio. But Jim Acosta asked Trump a question yesterday, and he had that snarky, arrogant, smarty pants tone to him, Jim Acosta. They're loving this. They're loving this. And when this trial comes along, think about it. Now, we're going to win. They need to flip 20 Republican senators. And then every Democrat has to vote for removal, too. That's like unheard of. It's almost impossible. Although you never know. But when the impeachment trial begins, the way the fake news media and the way that the liberals, the Democrats, will be thinking this, they're not thinking he's going to be acquitted. He's not going to be removed. They're thinking, we got him right where we want him. We just need the votes now. And when we get into this trial, which is going to, I hope Mitch McConnell gets it over and done with quick. If they did it in a day, it would be the best. But this is government; it can't happen in a day. But who knows what kind of mud they're going to start throwing at this president then? Because the media, we got him where he's already impeached. We got the trial. They could slam the media filled with lies and slanders about this president in an attempt to turn his base of support, you and me, against him, and try to flip these senators. These are some look at the dirty, nasty things they've done. Mayor Giuliani, with this breaking news this week about this corrupt lady ambassador in Ukraine, how she was denying visas to people because they were going to come over here and inform on the Democrats, on Biden and everything. I mean, my goodness, these are dirty people. And once this trial starts, you don't think they're going to start putting the screws to some of these Republicans that they have dirt on? Members of Congress have two residences. One is in their home district or state if they're a senator, and another one in D.C. Most every member of Congress is married, and their wives and kids are typically back home. So these guys are in Washington, they're alone. And you know what happens a lot of times? They have so much dirt on members of Congress that they never use, that they save for special occasions like this. They're going to be pulling out all those manila envelopes and sending them to the senators. The media very well could start bringing in things that we've never even heard of before to try to turn public opinion against this president and give. They already have one senator ready to vote for removal, Mitt Romney. They only need 19 more. Right? You think they're just going to sit back and say, well, that we don't have the votes, let the process play out? No. They're going to try to flip. In fact, what they would like to do, even though they may not be able to get 20, they want to get as many as they can, even if it's just Mitt Romney, so that they can say the vote to remove was bipartisan. A trial is a risk. A trial is an unknown. I have never seen a televised trial of an innocent man before. Have you? When is the last time you saw someone on trial on television who was an innocent man? I don't mean in the movies, I mean in real life. Court TV, CNN. When have you seen a truly innocent man on trial? I don't think ever. I've never seen it. Have you? Well, we're going to see it. It's Donald Trump. O.J. Simpson, someone said. Yeah, right. O.J. Simpson, yeah, right. Yeah, you've never, I don't think the American people have ever seen a televised trial of an innocent man. This will be a first. And they're not going to sit back and say, well, we don't have the votes, let's just let it play out, at least we got him impeached. They're going to put the screws to as many Republicans as they can. They're going to fill the media and the internet with lies, trash, and slanders. They're going to try to bribe and blackmail. They're going to do whatever they can do. A lot of these Republican senators are never Trumpers, not just Mitt Romney. There's a bunch of never Trumpers over there. And they want nothing more than to have Trump out. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. It's 7 a.m., 1 hour down, 2 to go. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
The Money Talk Network is 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach.
This is Steve Kane with an exciting announcement from Tavolino's. Tavolino's is now open for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2:45. A gourmet menu including dishes like Nana's breakfast sandwich, candied bacon with avocado and aged cheddar cheese.
Make sure you guys subscribe.
And Raven tomatoes will make your mouth water. Or how about
I saw Richie the bus driver in there. Hey, Richie.
Poached on an organic egg, toasted with English muffin, peppercorn sauce, hollandaise, and roasted.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting some messages from people. I just can't.
Or try Delanote's chicken and waffles, crispy buttermilk.
I just can't have
with cheddar cheese,
5 to 10 social media platforms and different live stream. It's too much.
Every weekend at Tavolino's.
It's too much. So we're still on Facebook. We're still on all the social media platforms. I'm just consolidating them a little bit.
0046. You're gonna love this restaurant, and tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Hey guys, this is Kathy, Brian's wife. Last year I got Brian a MyPillow for Christmas and it was his favorite present.
That's right, Kathy. In fact, I loved MyPillow so much, I got you one and Emily one the following week. And then a few months later, I got a MyPillow pet bed for our dog Nina.
Our entire household sleeps on a MyPillow, and I have to say, a MyPillow will give you the
Twitch?
best sleep of your life.
It's not just height. There's a reason the MyPillow is so popular. It will actually help
You know what?
sleep
Periscope was
deeper
always the
rest.
cesspool of the internet. About 5 minutes after it went live.
Gift for someone you care about. A MyPillow is the
I
way
gave
to
up
go.
on Periscope a long time ago, and it was the best thing I ever
It's
did.
a great gift.
There
I
are
gotta
so
tell
many
you.
awesome products at mypillow.com. You're bound to find the
Yeah, I
perfect
thought
gift
Twitch was for,
everyone
like,
on your
kids.
list, and they can be shipped directly to the recipient.
When you order at mypillow.com,
I used to be on Periscope for a long time. I was like one of the originators on Periscope. I was like a founding member of Periscope.
Buy one MyPillow and get the second one for free when you use the promo code Kane. And pet beds, just $19.99.
Well, the thing with Periscope is you can't do mods because I tried that and it causes problems. The only mod I have is my wife. She's a mod.
Your house. Merry Christmas.
Low reimbursed payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase and MSRP on approved credit. Excludes tax, tag title, includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer ends Finish score 31-19.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the rematch of the praise fight of the century. In this corner, the reigning 5-time champ.
So I got to consolidate things. So I'm consolidating into YouTube. I'm consolidating it into the Steve Kane Facebook fan page, the Brian Craig Show podcast Facebook page, and of course Twitter and my Instagram.
Hollywood delivers a crushing blow by selling Toyotas at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 Camry SE, not $28,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $21,000, $12,775. Buy any new Toyota and we'll make your payments for 12 months. And Toyota of Hollywood.
But you'll be with us, Richie. That's the difference.
Open till midnight.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel.
You'll be with
at the
us.
Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your
I'm not, I'm just streaming on YouTube right now. Just streaming on YouTube.
Italian restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. That's right, hour number 2 has begun. Oh, man, I tell you. Impeachment Wednesday. I'm not watching any of it today. I'm not going to watch any of it. I'll watch it in the afternoon when they come in with the vote. The only thing I'm watching for today is the media reaction when the vote comes in to impeach Trump. You know, and maybe I shouldn't assume it's going to be that way. I don't know. I'm assuming it's going to be that way. And what I'm going to be looking for is the mood of the anchors on the different cable networks. Because on CNN and MSNBC, they want to high-five one another. They want to have a party. Will they be able to act like fair, partisan news people, or will they not be able to contain their excitement? I would say they're not going to be able to contain their excitement. That's going to be my thought, personally. Well, listen, our number 1, 888-GO-KANE-1. Now, Tulsi Gabbard, this is amazing. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, don't trust Tulsi Gabbard. Okay? I know Tulsi Gabbard sounds like a reasonable person, and she is today. But still, Republicans, don't get too much behind Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is, and I think I'm the first to pick up on this. I've been talking about this for months, since that debate where she came in and took Kamala Harris out of the running. Tulsi Gabbard has been chosen by the powers that be to be the first female president of the United States. They have, she's a Democrat. She's very liberal, like Obama. But they have her sounding very reasonable all the time, so she does not damage herself beyond repair. They're playing a long game with Tulsi Gabbard. Listen here. Democratic Rep. Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii, this is in the Daily Mail, is throwing a wrench into Wednesday's impeachment vote with a call to censure President Donald Trump. A censure vote, if allowed on the House floor, might allow Democrats who are still on the fence with an alternative that stops short of impeachment. So Tulsi Gabbard is saying no to impeachment. She's saying no to impeachment. This vote today, when it comes to, when you're impeaching a president, you are making the first step to remove an elected president of the United States from office. Regardless of whether or not it's going to happen or not, you're making a move towards that. When a president commits crimes, well, first off, you don't need professors to tell you crimes were committed. You just know, all right? You just know. But when a president commits crimes, right, and that rise to the level of impeachment and removal from office, should a vote in the House of Representatives be 100% partisan, and the bipartisan vote be against impeachment? Is that really what kind of country what does that say about their process? When you have Democrats saying no impeachment is the bipartisan move in the House, what does that say about what's going on? It says exactly what it is. They're attempting to influence the presidential election. That's what it says. Now, I don't trust Tulsi Gabbard because I know she's a Trojan horse. Okay? And they're going to be running her at the top or bottom of a ticket after Trump's second term. She's being groomed and prepared, and they're trying to make her sound reasonable to conservatives. She's got the military background. She says all the right things. She's for the wall. She's for border security. She's against impeachment. Don't fall for that crap, okay? Believe me, she's just as left-wing as Obama, but right now she's trying to make herself sound reasonable for a future national run. Tulsi Gabbard. So don't. But the impeachment vote today will be 100% partisan. We're going to have Democrats on our side of things. Just based on that, there should be no impeachment today of the President of the United States. Good morning, you're on the radio. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, you know, you're right about Tulsi Gabbard. And that's why I kind of, Tulsi Gabbard is not for now. She's probably for 2024. Just like I think Nikki Haley is going to be 2024 as well. But that's just what I think here. Because you're going to have somebody to run against Tulsi Gabbard, and that's what they're planning. But again, about you mentioned censure, right? The problem with censure is the radical Democrats do not want it. They want impeachment.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Well, no, he's going to be impeached today unless something crazy happens. I mean, that's just something we've got to expect, and I expect it. You know, and I'm a little I didn't think it would get this far. I've been wrong about this from the get-go. I hope I'm not wrong that they can't flip 20 Republican senators against President Trump. You know, I was listening to Rush a couple days ago, and he was so right on the money. If Trump's removed from office, Trump's future as president relies in the Republicans in the Senate. But how many of those Republicans are never Trumpers? Right? Who are, and once a never Trumper, always a never Trumper. And the never Trumpers, they're like Mitt Romney. They just hide it. They hate Trump as much as the Democrats and Mitt Romney do. They just hide it. And they're only supporting him because they know that if he were removed from office in the Senate, the aftermath of that, it would be something we've never seen in the modern era. And I'll tell you, the Republican base, I don't think would ever vote again. Not Republican. The Republican, if he were removed from office, I think I'd give up on politics. Because our votes wouldn't matter. In fact, even someone just in the chat said that he will not be impeached today. That's hard to imagine, that he will not be impeached today in the House of Representatives. I mean, I hope if that came down that way, that would be insane. I mean, if the vote came down no on impeachment, that would be so devastating to Nancy Pelosi. It'd be something. But if the Republicans, yeah, go ahead.
MSNBC for the reactions if it came down.
But you know what? This isn't a game. This isn't a game about having entertaining television. We had this amazing grassroots effort in 2016 with Donald Trump. And there were, 19 Republicans running? And some of these were very popular Republicans with a long track record. Scott Walker was out early, Jeb Bush, all these people, and boom. And at the end of the primary process, it was just Trump. And Trump was always the front runner. There wasn't, in every debate, his podium was center stage because he was always the front runner from debate 1 to the last debate to election night. We have never seen a president this popular before. And for them to make a move to impeach someone, it's clearly what they're doing is trying to influence the 2020 election.
Man, you can't really say that about any of these jokers who are running for the nomination for the Democrats. None of them, not even Joe Biden, have been leading throughout from day one.
Yeah. I know. All right, Mike in Louisiana, thanks for the call. Yeah. So will they high-five each other today on CNN? I don't know. Listen, let me take this break because I want to get to the audio sound bites, which I put off way too long. So I'm going to take this break on time. After the break, I'm going to get into the audio sound bites of the day. My name is Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back right after this.
Boca Raton Center for Age Management. He's my anti-aging doctor. That's right, I have an anti-aging doctor now. This year, I turned 45, and I was starting to slow down a bit. I met with Dr. Matez, and he found that my testosterone level was low. We men begin losing our testosterone starting at age 30, and it goes down every year after that. Dr. Matez told me I was approaching the beginning of andropause. That's the male equivalent of menopause. I began bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. They're tiny little pellets inserted under my skin, and now my testosterone levels are being restored to where they were when I was 25 years old. Thanks to Dr. Matez, I have more energy, I feel better, I look better, my love life, it's better, and my wife, she's thanking Dr. Matez too. Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy isn't just for men, it works wonders for women by reversing the symptoms.
Let me see here. Where did I want to
like
get to?
Let me see. Men and women. You don't have to live
Okay.
with the negative effects of aging, like loss
Swalwell.
of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located in Boca, and his website is hormonetherapybocaraton.com. Or give him a call, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And tell him Brian Craig sent you.
Will reimburse payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase and MSRP on approved products. Excludes tax, tag time, includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer ends 12/31/19.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the rematch of the praise fight of the century. In this corner, the reigning 5-time champ, Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 for SCT. And in this corner, challengers from every other manufacturer. The challengers come out swinging, but Toyota of Hollywood delivers a crushing blow by selling Toyotas at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 Camry SE, not $28,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $21,000, $12,775. Buy any new Toyota and we'll make your payments for 12 months. At Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
So you've been told you need a medical test. What are you going to have to pay? Health test can be very expensive if you go to your doctor's office or to one of the big labs. It can cost you hundreds of dollars. Sometimes I haven't had tests because of the cost. Then I discovered Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. Any Lab Test Now of Plantation's goal is to save you money and get you in and out in 15 minutes or less. At Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, you never need an appointment. You can walk right in and have on one of their thousands of tests done for just a fraction of what the big labs or your doctor's office charges. Give them a call, 954-916-1072.
No, I'm reading something.
916-1072. Tell them what test you need, and they will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-916-1072.
Reading some email.
Any lab test now in Plantation is located in the Jacaranda Plaza. That's the public shopping center in Plantation, just west of University Drive, on the north side of Sunrise Boulevard. Any lab test now in Plantation. Private and affordable lab testing. 954-916-1072.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977 on Impeachment Wednesday. You know, I never thought I'd agree with AOC, the commie bartender. But you know what they say, broken clock is right twice a day. Listen, this is AOC. Now, she was talking about Republicans here, but this is AOC yesterday. Oh, it would help if I... Every time the first soundbite I play, I always have the volume turned down low, so I got to turn it up. Okay, AOC.
Any election they lose is illegitimate, and any election they win means they can govern with impunity. And that is almost the definition, or one of the hallmark aspects of authoritarianism.
Okay. Yes. I know it's hard to hear her, but since I'm agreeing with AOC, I thought I'd play it anyway. Now, she was talking about Republicans, but she said any election they lose, right, is not legitimate, and any election they win, they can do whatever they want, and that is the definition of authoritarianism. And she's right about that, and that's what we're seeing in the House of Representatives. Remember what Chuck Schumer told the president in the White House that day? Elections have consequences, Mr. President. We won, and we can do that. That's right. And because they lost in 2016, that election was illegitimate. The Democrats believe look what's going on in Georgia. They're still contesting the governor's race in Georgia a year out. Any election they lose was stolen, was illegitimate. And when they win, they feel they have a mandate to do whatever it is that they want, and that's what they're doing in the House right now. So AOC, right on the money, girl, for the first time. Not bad for a commie bartender. But, you know, from the bartender to a guy who probably has spent too many times at bars, Chris Matthews yesterday. Chris Matthews, it's really amazing. You know, Hardball with Chris Matthews years ago used to be the political show of record on cable news. Isn't that something? I know, it's hard to believe. And he was always a Democrat. Remember, you know, Chris Matthews worked for Tip O'Neill. He worked for President Carter. So he's always been a Democrat. But he wasn't this nutcase that he's become over the years, and that's because Tim Russert used to be around. Back in the days when Tim Russert was alive and he was the managing editor of NBC News, and MSNBC fell under that, MSNBC was pretty reasonable and fair and balanced, and their people on the air were, for the most part, rational, including Chris Matthews. But since Tim Russert passed away, there's been no accountability or responsibility from MSNBC. And Chris Matthews, sometimes I think he says things that he's not supposed to say on television just to see if anybody's watching still. Because even though Chris Matthews' show used to be the political show of record on cable news, it's pretty much irrelevant. I don't even know what time it's on anymore. It used to be on 2 hours a night. He'd be on, it used to be on from 5 to 6 and then from 7 to 8 again. That's how big it was. And I used to watch it every day. And then Tim Russert died and it went down the tubes. But yesterday, he said something on the air which was not a slip. He did this on purpose, Chris Matthews. And it tells you everything you need to know about this impeachment vote today. Chris Matthews yesterday.
Does it make sense for the country to re-elect the president impeached in his first term?
Yeah, then they have a whole segment. I know, it's hard. He talks so fast, and he spits when he talks. But he says, I even missed part of it. Did he say, does it make sense? What did he say? Yeah. Does it make sense for the country to elect and re-elect a president who's been impeached in his first term? So that's an admission by MS-13BC's Chris Matthews that the goal here is to try to influence the 2020 election. That every poll out has him beating the Democrats, every Democrat they got on it. He's incredibly popular. It doesn't make sense. He's been impeached. You can't elect someone who's been impeached. You can't re-elect someone who's been impeached. That's what they plan on running on. And that's how they talk off air. They're not supposed to talk that way on the air. But that's Chris Matthews. He's off the plantation, you know. He wants to be, I'm still here. Let me say something crazy so people will notice me. It's really sad about that show because I really liked, people forget what MSNBC used to be like when it was new. When MSNBC was new, it was pretty hip and cool. And they had shows like they have now, and they had pundits and everything like they have now. But they used to take calls live on the air from viewers during the shows, and you could ask questions of the host and of their pundits that were on the show on MSNBC. And I used to call all the time, and it wasn't that hard to get through. I was on MSNBC so many times on the phone. Brian from Florida. I was like chronic. And it was amazing. And I wasn't the only conservatives could call in all the time in the early days of MSNBC. And you could call any of them out, the host and the pundits. And they stopped doing that. It's completely agenda-based. It was amazing. And they were really doing well. That's how Chris Matthews became the political show of record, because they would allow dissenting viewpoints. Now they have Republicans on like Michael Steele, who are a bunch of rhinos, Republicans in name only, who say whatever they're like hostages. They say whatever their camp commandant tells them to say over there. Yeah, and I used to call all the time, and it was great. You can't elect a president who's been impeached. How can you do that? I tell you. You know, I'm not going to watch any of it today. Are you? You guys going to watch this crap today? Why am I going to watch this? I didn't watch it yesterday either. Forget about it. I'm not going to do it. You know, to watch them is to support. This is not a legitimate political process. And it should not be treated as such. You know, if the cable news was handling this in a proper way, that this is a political smear, that the Democrats, Pelosi, Nadler, Schiff, and all the rest are abusing their power, that this is a lynching impeachment, which is what it is not a legitimate process, I'd be hanging on every word and watching it. I wouldn't turn off the television when I'm home. Be listening to it on my phone too. But they're treating this as if it's a legitimate political process. Well, the separation of powers, and these are the powers vested in the House. That's not what's going on here. You have a lot of bad cops. You know, a great way to explain this would be cops, whether or not this happens or not, I don't want to debate it, but it's like driving while black. Bad cops, right? They stop people just for driving while black. And I'm sure that happens, right? Those are police officers abusing their authority. That's what's going on today. You have legislators who are corrupt, who are abusing their power, abusing the authority that their offices have. They're criminals. You know? And it's obvious. And for the media to act like yesterday, I tuned on Fox when they had one of the times when they had Starr on yesterday. Oh, well, this is how the sausage is made, as they're talking about the rules. The vice chairman of the Rules Committee is Al C. Hastings, an impeached federal judge. I mean, that's who they have running the Rules Committee. I didn't watch any of this sausage making that they called it on Fox yesterday. This is not sausage making. This is a coup. And it is not a legitimate process. I feel really that we're not in a free country. Our elections have in so many ways been an illusion when you see what's going on here. Now, if President Trump had committed some crime, okay, but he's not. They've manufactured crimes. No crime has been committed here by Donald Trump. Can't say the same of the Democrats who are abusing their office. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1, 888-465-2631. Let's take a quick break and be right back.
So you've been told you need a medical test. What are you going to have to pay? Health test can be very expensive if you go to your doctor's office or to one of the big labs. It can cost you hundreds of dollars. Sometimes I haven't had tests because of the cost.
Hey, Larry.
Then I discovered Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. Any Lab Test Now of Plantation's goal is to save you money and get you in and out in 15 minutes or less. At Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, you never need an appointment. You can walk right in and have one of their thousands of tests done for just a fraction of what the big labs or your doctor's office charges. Give them a call, 954-916-1072, 954-916-1072. Tell them what test you need, and they will give you a quote right over the phone, 954-916-1072. Any Lab Test Now of Plantation is located in the Jacaranda Plaza. That's the public shopping center in Plantation, just west of University Drive, on the north side of Sunrise Boulevard. Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, private and affordable lab testing, 954-916-1072.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
Hey.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All righty, welcome everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. All right, let's go to the phones on Impeachment Wednesday. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hey, Brian, Larry, how are you?
All right, Larry.
Yeah, I agree with you about Judge Roberts. It took me a little bit of time to think about it after you said it the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And I agree. He's a wild card. When they had something over him on that big thing, Obamacare.
That's right.
Flipped.
That's right. He did. And he not only did he flipped on Obamacare at the last moment. Him and Scalia got into a fight over it. It was reported.
Exactly. And And, there's already talk, if they just get a couple of Republican senators to agree with the Democrats, all of a sudden, instead of the Republicans controlling the process, the Democrats can start to control the process.
Well, the bar to remove is like, they need 3/4. So they would have to get every Democrat in the Senate to vote to remove and flip 19 Republicans. I'm giving them Mitt Romney. They need 20 Republicans plus every Democrat. And of course that's unlikely. But when this gets to trial, trials are unknowns. That's why people settle all the time and make deals. Like William H. Macy's wife made a deal, because once you get the trial, it's an unknown.
I agree. On the impeachment, I think that it could be split. I think they could vote for one of the impeachment articles and reject the other. And part of my thinking there is the one where where they claim he obstructed justice.
Obstructed Congress.
Obstructed Congress. Because then they don't have to start calling, if they wanted to call Joe Biden or Hunter Biden, they say, wait, that has nothing to do with this process.
Well, Mitch McConnell has said a couple of things that, are good. He said they're going to have opening arguments and then vote and dismiss it. That's one thing. He made a comment also about every hour confirming a federal judge, which I thought was another federal judge, which is awesome. And they're also talking about finishing up with the USMCA today. So, I'm hearing positive things about Mitch McConnell, but Mitch McConnell is another never-Trumper. I don't trust that guy as far as I could throw him. I don't trust him. I don't trust the process. I no longer trust our system of government, honestly.
Yeah. If you think about it, I really go back and blame the Republicans, because if they had done what they were supposed to do, the people would have never not voted and allowed the Democrats back into power. But it's because they don't do what they're supposed to do. We say,
Well, a lot of Republicans retired last time around and didn't run for re-election, and that is in large part responsible for this too. I can't remember the exact number, but it was a lot.
Yeah, it was I think it was 40.
Something crazy numbers. Yeah, that's right. So that had a lot to do with it.
Ryan, you're a sharp guy. I listen to you closely.
Well, thank you very much. I just like at home, right, with the wife and kid. Yeah, I know. All right, take care, man. Take care. Ray in Sunrise, our cruising buddy. Hey, Ray.
Brian, how you doing? You're on the money as usual. You mentioned there when he said, how can we elect someone that's been indicted? People had to be clear about what we're talking about. Impeachment is not a conviction. Now, he let the cat out of the bag again, like Pelosi did a little while ago. Remember when she said, we're trying to impeach him for 2 years?
Yeah.
All about the election. That's what this is all about. But, Dershowitz, he came out with a great phrase, guilt by accusation.
Yeah.
The Democrats are trying to do. Now, impeachment is an indictment. And the old phrase, you can indict a ham sandwich. All impeachment is that you bring charges against someone. You accuse someone of something. I can accuse you of stealing my car, stealing my wallet, anything.
But you're right. But in a grand jury, you're right, ham sandwich analogy. But that isn't done. How often does that happen in a high-profile national situation? And the grand jury's never seen. What's going on here is I was talking about this earlier, Ray. This is the first trial I think we have ever seen on television of an innocent man in America.
That's why I'm saying this is guilt by accusation.
Yeah.
Pointed out earlier, too, that all the presidents before Trump were just puppets of a political party. They're all hacks. They're part of a thing. And what we have developed since Washington over the years is really government by committee. And that's what we've seen with Schiff and Nav and all these others. Committees are running the government, and the bureaucracies, people not even elected, these are in charge. And now, not only elected officials and the bureaucrats, they've weaponized the FBI, the CIA. Remember, even the IRS they used against?
Yeah.
We have not only, you see, whether Democrats or Republicans are in party, Here's another thing to add. There's really only one party. The Washington establishment.
That's right.
And Trump calls it the swamp.
That's right.
Real thing should be called the sewer because, it shouldn't be the Democrat Party. It should be the Demo-Rat Party because all rats in the sewer. This is so ridiculous what's going on here.
Yeah, you're right.
Impeachment is not conviction. There's only a trial. The other thing here, too, about this guilt by accusation. In America, some people are saying, well, we want to try because then Trump can prove his innocence. My goodness, that's the worst thing in the world anybody could say.
I know.
Innocent.
Exactly.
To the prosecution.
You're presumed innocent in America. Yeah. I'll tell you. Yeah. I know. This is a lynching court. This is like those courts that the Democrats had in the South, where they had innocent black men on trial with all white juries who convicted innocent people and sent them off. And I'll tell you, if you go back to the Clinton impeachment trial in the Senate, I don't think a single member of the Republicans who were pushing impeachment are still in government. They're all gone, and they were very high profile. Henry Hyde and his team. I don't even know if Henry Hyde's alive still, but there were others like Bill McCollum from Florida. There was an entire Republican impeachment team that went to prosecute in the House, and I believe they are all out of politics now because they pushed for that impeachment. And I haven't seen. Yeah, go ahead, Ray.
No, as you pointed out, and many others have, with Nixon and with Clinton, there were crimes.
Yes.
Crime here.
Yeah.
Another thing that's really changed, not only do we have a one-party system and so on, right? But they have the media is with them, or I think they're puppets of the media. I don't think the Democratic Party is telling the media what to do. It's the other way around. But you have the PACs, the political action committees. You have the big donors like Soros who are really pulling this.
Well, things went down yeah.
Remember the quote, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men Sam, it's time to get out and vote, people.
Well, this House election. Last time the impeachment. I'm going to look up the members of the impeachment team against Bill Clinton that went to prosecute, and what I haven't heard anyone talk about, because it's amazing that people don't remember the '98 impeachment trial of Bill Clinton. It's like a real court. It's like a real courtroom in the Senate. And the Chief Justice is the judge. He sits at the top where the President of the Senate normally sits. The senators are back in their seats like jurors. And then at the front of the courtroom, there's two tables. One's a defense team, one's a prosecution. And the prosecution of President Clinton was done by Bill McCollum, Henry Hyde, and others on the impeachment team that brought the impeachment articles to the clerk's office and filed them. I haven't heard anyone talk about who will be on the impeachment prosecution team from the House of Representatives. Who are they? Are they sending over lawyers, or are they going to have congressmen do it? Because Republican congressmen were the prosecutors in the Clinton trial. I'd like to see who they're going to put out. Is it going to be Schiff and Nadler? Who are they going to put out in front of this?
The hearings, the Schiff and the Nadler hearings, they defer to the academics.
Yeah. Cowards.
The know-it-alls and people like that. Hey, by the way, talking about defenders, I mentioned Dershowitz with...
Yeah.
I think is going to be one of Trump's defenders. He's going to be on the Trump defense team.
Yeah, and, Dershowitz, can't trust him. You cannot trust John Roberts. John Roberts is so compromised, and I know he votes right most of the time. He's got to have credibility, so they only use him on the big things like Obamacare. And this is one of those things. And the last Chief Justice, Rehnquist, didn't do much, but he could. A judge, just because Rehnquist just kind of sat there doesn't mean John Roberts will. And if they got to a witness phase, for example, the Republicans calling the whistleblower if they did that. John Roberts could say no. Right? He could say no.
Well, that Trump could have his defense and so on. But I'm agreeing more with you more and more because I think if they get...
Well, one of the Democrats said yesterday, well, Monica Lewinsky wasn't called during the Clinton trial. He wasn't impeached for anything to do with Monica Lewinsky. Exactly. It had to do with Paul. No, it had nothing to do with Lewinsky. I don't know if that congressman didn't know it. Anyway, we've reached your time allowed on the call, Ray. The alarm, the light is blinking. Hang up on Ray. Ray, thanks for the call. Thanks so much. All right. Great. Great. Yeah, and Ray goes with us on the Steve Kane cruises. He's going on the next one. And, you know, Ray's an old timer, man. He's up there. And he actually went with us to the Mayan ruins. When we went out to the Mayan ruins, I was surprised to see Ray there. I didn't think he would do it because that was a physical trip. I tell you, it was a rough one for me. You know, and I'm in relatively decent shape. All right, let's take our last break of the second hour of the program. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. We'll take a break and be back.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681.
Well, you wait for the notification bell for what, Charlie?
7681. When you call,
what was your
make sure
previous?
to ask for Sarah. She takes extra
I didn't
good
catch
care
your
of
previous
Steve Kane
comment.
listeners.
Brian, I'll
We'll
wait
keep
for
you
that
an appointment
notification bell
fast.
from you on the
Early
outcome.
detection of skin cancer
I don't know
can
what you're
save
talking
your
about.
life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare
I'll turn it on at the end.
recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you to call Debbie at I Will Advisors and have her review your homeowner's insurance policy and save you money on your insurance premium. I'm in studio today with a Steve Kane listener, Don. Don did just that.
I called Debbie. She looked over my homeowner's insurance policy and told me I was paying way too much. She updated my policy. It didn't cost me a dime. And now my mortgage payment has been lowered because my insurance premium is part of my monthly mortgage payment.
Thanks, Don, and I'm glad Debbie can save you all that money. You can save money too. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Have her review your policy and lower your homeowner's insurance premium. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Did you guys hear Alyssa Milano? Alyssa Milano at one of these impeachment rallies. Listen to this.
Listen to me very carefully. I am angry. If he's not Greta was angry, he's seen nothing yet. I'm premenopausal and I am angry.
Okay. Alyssa Milano is premenopausal and she's angry. And, you know, Alyssa Milano desperately needs to call Dr. Mitch Matez, my anti-aging doctor. He's a great doctor. You know, when Dr. Mitch Matez talks about hormone replacement pellet therapy with women, he talks about how it completely reverses the signs and symptoms of menopause, the night sweats, the mood swings, which is a polite way to say anger. You know, if Alyssa Milano went to Dr. Matez in Boca, took advantage of that free consultation for Steve Kane listeners, and started hormone replacement pellet therapy, she's premenopausal, she would lose that anger. She should give him a call, 561-953-5490, online, hormone therapy, BocaRaton.com. Here she is, Milano.
Listen to me very carefully. I am angry. If he's not Greta was angry, he's seen nothing yet. I'm premenopausal and I am angry.
Yeah, so don't be like Alyssa Milano, ladies. Don't be angry. Don't suffer from mood swings because you are, well, premenopausal or in menopause. Call Dr. Mitch Matez. Reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. Talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. Again, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. This is what happens to women without hormone replacement pellet therapy. Let's listen to the rest of it. Her poor husband. Oh, my goodness.
Listen to me very carefully. I am angry. If he's not Greta was angry, he's seen nothing yet. I'm premenopausal and I am angry. And you know why I'm angry? I'm angry because I'm so tired.
See, that's another symptom of menopause. See, Dr. Matez could turn Alyssa Milano's life around. Because she's premenopausal, she's angry and she's tired. Both signs and symptoms of menopause that hormone replacement pellet therapy can reverse. Hormone therapy, BocaRaton.com is his number, Dr. Matez.
I'm tired of this. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not tired of fighting Donald Trump and his many impeachable offenses, and I'm not tired of speaking truth to power. I will never tire of that. But I am so tired.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to help you. Call Dr. Matez. I looked up during the break. Yes, 561-953-5490. Reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause, women. That includes the mood swings, the anger you hear from Alyssa Milano, that tiredness because, you know, she's angry and tired not because of Trump. She's angry and tired because her hormone levels are so low. 561-953-5490, Dr. Mitch Matez. Yeah, I think menopause is the number one cause of divorce. I've thought that for quite a while because of the mood swings. All right, now during the break, I'm not kidding about this. You know, guys, come on, menopause. I looked this up during the break. I was talking to Ray about the impeachment team, and I looked up the impeachment prosecutors of Bill Clinton. Now, this is an interesting thing. There's a lot of names here forgotten about, and someone was a part of it that I didn't remember being a part of it. In the 1998 impeachment trial of Bill Clinton, what happened is they had these 13, they called them House managers. And they came in and they effectively worked as the prosecutors against Bill Clinton and his Senate trial. And they were all members of the House of Representatives, and there were 13 of them. And I've not heard anyone speculate on who from the Democrat House is going to come over to be part of the prosecution team of Donald Trump. Who wants that job? I don't know. I haven't heard anybody volunteer for it. The prosecution team of Bill Clinton, we knew it long before it even got there because they said we're going to go and do it. And I looked up the list of all 13. Every single one of them is out of politics. The entire prosecution team of Bill Clinton from the House of Representatives in his Senate trial, every one of them is out of politics except one. And some of these names you won't even remember. Henry Hyde, who passed away. Jim Sensenbrenner. What happened to Sensenbrenner? Hold on. No, he's still in, right? Yeah, he's still in. So we got Sensenbrenner. We got 2 in, okay? Jim Sensenbrenner and Lindsey Graham. The rest are gone. Gone. There were 13 of them. 11 of the 13 are out of politics. Now, the ones that are still alive, because Henry Hyde passed away 12 years ago. But does their impeachment prosecution of Bill Clinton have anything to do with 11 of the 13 no longer being in government? I would say that it probably does. And isn't our president absolutely amazing having a rally tonight? That's spectacular. Here he is. He's being impeached, and this is so typical Trump, right? And this is going to be the mother of all rallies. And shame on any cable news outlet that doesn't carry this rally. They can claim his other rallies aren't news, and we know that's bogus. But today he's going to be impeached. Tonight he's having a rally. If there's been any rally that should be carried on television, without question, it's this one. And his mood and the mood of his this is so vintage Trump, because I remember when Bill Clinton I know it's absolutely amazing. When Bill Clinton was impeached, after the impeachment vote, every member of the Democrat Congress got on a tour bus with Al Gore, went to the White House, and had this big press conference on the lawn in front of the White House with President Clinton, praising Bill Clinton. Greatest president ever, right? Remember that? President Trump has taken that and he's doing it times 1,000 by having a massive rally tonight after the impeachment. And it really shows how the people are on his side. Yeah, I was watching CNN yesterday, and they were talking about these polls that show Democrats, the majority of Democrats are opposed to impeachment now. And they said on the panel, well, I don't believe those polls. And you know what, I was explaining to Steve yesterday, these new polls that show the majority of Democrats are opposed to impeachment, the new polls that show that President Trump is beating every Democrat, and there's all this discussion is what changed in the polls. The polls didn't change. He was always ahead. The polls were fixed and fake. And what they're doing now is showing more accurate polling so that the polls don't lose credibility, because when he's impeached, the support for this president is going to go through the roof, as you'll see in his rally tonight. And they don't want the polls to lose complete credibility, so they want to show the polls a little more accurate based on the tone of the country, so that they can use them against Trump during the re-election. All right, we're coming up on the top of the hour. I've got more audio sound bites when we get back. I also want to talk about that historic letter that the president sent to the House Madam herself, Nancy Pelosi, yesterday, which was just an amazing letter. That letter is probably the most historical lefty years. The most important. So few letters are written, right? Oh, yeah. And Fredo Cuomo went really, really nuts last night with Sean Duffy. We'll talk about all that stuff and much more. Third hour is beginning. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Now, there's no greater gift for Christmas than the gift of a MyPillow. Incredible deals. You hear us talking about on MyPillow.com. And I just want everyone to know, express shipping is available. So if you have any concerns about your MyPillow that you order as a Christmas gift not arriving on time, express shipping is available. So use that promo code Kane at checkout for all of the incredible deals you've been hearing us talk about. And express shipping is available. Use that promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. That's K-A-N-E at checkout. I'm Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back for the third and final hour right after this.
8.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
Hey guys, this is Kathy, Brian's wife. Last year I got Brian a MyPillow for Christmas and it was his favorite present.
That's right, Kathy. In fact, I loved MyPillow so much, I got you one and Emily one the following week. And then a few months later, I got a MyPillow pet bed for our dog, Nina.
Our entire household sleeps on a MyPillow, and I have to say, a MyPillow will give you the best sleep of your life.
It's not just height. There's a reason the MyPillow is so popular. It will actually help you sleep deeper, and you will wake up rested.
If you're looking for the perfect gift for someone you care about, a MyPillow is the way to go.
And if you know someone with pets, a MyPillow pet bed is a great gift.
There are so many awesome products at MyPillow.com. You're bound to find the perfect gift for everyone on your list, and they can be shipped directly to the recipient.
When you order at MyPillow.com, make sure to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for great radio discounts, like the BOGO 2-for-1 MyPillow offer. Buy one MyPillow and get the second one for free when you use the promo code KANE. And pet beds, just $19.99 when you use the promo code Kane at checkout.
This Christmas, make it a MyPillow Christmas.
Order at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-716.
Be right back, guys.
From our house to your house. Merry Christmas.
Hi, this is Dr. Mitchell Matez from the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. I've cared for Steve and Brian in an anti-aging capacity for the last decade. However, I want to make sure that everybody understands hormone therapy is not just for men, but is for women also. In fact, we have one of my women patients here with us right now today. Hi, Donna.
Hi, Doc.
Donna, tell us, what are some of the symptoms you had when you first came to see me?
Well, I was going through menopause, and I had night sweats. I wasn't sleeping through the night, hot flashes, mood swings. My skin felt like sandpaper. I had my hair falling out by the handfuls, and I was tired, run down all the time. I was moody, and the worst thing of all was my sex drive.
And how do you feel?
Let me see here.
Amazing. I'm 52, and I
Yeah,
feel like
Fredo.
I'm alive again.
And I can tell you've also...
Oh, and Lisa Page.
Since we first met. How has this affected your weight control and your sex life and other issues of that?
Well, I've lost 50 pounds, and my sex life is better than it's ever been.
Welcome, everyone. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube.
I have skin like I'm 25 again. I sleep like a baby. My hair is not falling out anymore. I'm happy all the time. There's no more mood swings, and I just feel like a kid again.
As you can see, hormone pellet therapy is great for women also. It reverses your menopause, controls your weight, improves your sex life, and a whole host of other benefits. If you want to get these benefits, call me as soon as you can at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953-5490. That's 561-953-5490. Or visit us at our website, hormonetherapybocaraton.com.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth.
That's
Brighton
right.
Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633.
Well, thank you, Sarah.
954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Medical billing sticker shock. Ever have that happen to you? You go to your mailbox and get a bill for a routine test, and you owe lots of money. You thought it was covered by your insurance, but it wasn't. The cost of healthcare shouldn't break your budget, and you know what? It doesn't have to. This is Brian Craig, and I want to save you a lot of money on lab tests like cholesterol test, diabetes test, thyroid screenings, drug test, STD test, and whatever other test you need. These are common lab tests, but can cost hundreds of dollars if you go to your doctor's office or to one of the big labs. But there is a solution at any lab test now of Plantation where you will save money, big money on medical tests. Save time too. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Avoid medical billing sticker shock. I've been going to any lab test now at Plantation for years now for my lab test, and they've saved me thousands of dollars on my test. If you have any questions or want a quote on a lab test, give them a call. 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. The Any Lab Test Now at Plantation staff will answer any questions you have, or just stop by. No appointment is needed. No doctor's order or prescription either. Any Lab Test Now at Plantation is located in the Jacaranda Plaza. That's the public shopping center in Plantation, just west of University Drive on the north side.
All right, here we go.
Sunrise Boulevard. When you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072 for Any Lab Test Now of Plantation.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples.
Good morning.
Trust with attorney Barry Siegel. He will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant.
Good morning.
Springs. The Siegel Law Group with 9
Make sure you subscribe. Click that notification bell.
Plantation and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored
That's my
program
wife. My wife is my one and only moderator.
and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live and
Yeah, lots of trolls.
6 till 9 a.m. weekdays and overnights midnight till 6 a.m. 7 nights a week. To call the show toll free.
All righty. Welcome, welcome. Third and final hour has begun of Impeachment Wednesday. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Welcome back, one and all. I mean, again, I will not be watching the coverage all day. I'm sorry. I'm going to tune in at the end because I want to see if they jump for joy and high-five each other. You know, Shepard Smith must really be regretting leaving Fox News now, man. Shepard Smith is going to be sitting at home in Greenwich Village watching this on television like everybody else, when he could be there celebrating Trump being impeached today. Oh, I'm so sorry, Shep. Oh, yeah, I know, Shep. All right, so let me get to some of this, some of the audio sound bites. Let me forget this thing. Lisa Page. Oh, my goodness. They put more makeup on Lisa Page. This is Lisa Page. She gave an interview yesterday. Listen.
It's really one of the more painful aspects of this entire 2 years. I mean, the president's attacks and assaults are one thing, but this is my institution. This is my Justice Department.
Wow. It's my institution. I thought this was a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But Lisa Page says the Justice Department is her institution. That belongs to all of us, as does the People's House, the White House, and the Congress. This is of the people, for the people, by the people. But not in Lisa Page. In Lisa Page, this is her institution. Right? This is her institution.
It's really one of the more painful aspects of this entire 2 years. I mean, the president's attacks and assaults are one thing, but this is my institution. This is my Justice Department betraying us. And, you know, there's an element of, this is a claim that, well, this is congressional oversight and we had to do it. I have been a part of both of these institutions for a long time, and I know what it looks like when when the department is trying to protect people and protect information, and I know what it looks like when they're not. There were plenty of ways to fulfill their congressionally mandated oversight responsibilities.
I don't know what she's talking about there, but Lisa Page, of course, she's the victim, and this is her institution. You people out there that thought the government was of the people, by the people, for the people, no. This is Lisa Page. That's her institution. These are their... See, that's part of the problem. See, this bureaucracy, these bureaucrats like Lisa Page think it's their country and their government. And we're a bunch of interlopers that get in the way. They hate the voters. They hate the voters. That's very, very revealing. You know, this impeachment vote and talk that I'm not going to be watching today. Why am I going to watch that? I'm not going to sit around and watch them lie and slander about our president all day. I'm not going to do it. Oh, my goodness. Speaking of institutions, what about that institution of marriage that your boyfriend, Peter Strzok, was a part of? That was his wife's institution. Homewrecker. Homewrecker. Here you got Lisa Page, a homewrecker, and she's talking about how important institutions are. The institution of marriage is a very important one for most people, but not to Lisa Page. That's not her institution. That was another woman's institution. That was Mrs. Strzok's institution of marriage with Peter. That's right. Lisa Page, concerned about institutions, unless it's the institution of marriage. She doesn't care about. She doesn't care about that one. Fredo was going off last night on President Trump and his supporters. Fredo, of course, Fredo Cuomo. With Sean Duffy. I mean, this is, he says something at the end which is really crazy. This is Fredo Cuomo yesterday, CNN.
Should you be defending a man when you know it will force you to own the ugliness that he spits out so often that you can't possibly agree with?
Now here you have, okay, because you defend the ugliness that he spews out, I've never heard President Trump threaten to shove a man or throw a man down a flight of stairs. Here you've got Cuomo, who threatened to throw a man down a flight of stairs, which to me, you know, is well, it could literally be deadly. But he's worried about what Trump is spewing? Has Trump ever threatened to throw someone down a flight of stairs, Cuomo? Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Back to Fredo.
Should you be defending a man when you know it will force you to own the ugliness that he spits out so often that you can't possibly agree with?
Well, is CNN defended Fredo? They've still kept him there, even though he threatened to throw a man down a flight of stairs.
Possibly agree with. For example, attacking Nancy Pelosi with a tweet about her teeth.
That was a good one. I like that one.
Unorthodox, they say. And he's frustrated, they say. What they don't say is what they would say immediately if anyone else said anything like this. So the question becomes, how do you keep your credibility with this kind of silence? Let's bring in former Republican Congressman Sean Duffy. Blessings for Christmas for you and the family.
Now this is good. Now, here you have Fredo. He says blessings. He won't say Merry Christmas. He's trying to say Merry Christmas in the most generic way that he can, Fredo, because he's a lib. And then Sean Duffy comes in. I like Sean Duffy's response.
Family, thanks for being with. You too, Chris. Have Merry Christmas. So you get the question.
Yeah. You always got to say Merry Christmas back to these libs. They hate it. Always say Merry Christmas.
So you get the question, telling the president he's right is being a follower. Telling him he's wrong is being a leader, and nobody seems to want to do that in your party. You guys will say, well, we don't like everything he says. No, you never say that you don't like what he says.
I love everything Trump says. Has Trump ever said anything I didn't like? I can't think of a single thing. He said a lot of things that I thought were crazy that he said it. He never said he wanted to throw a man down a flight of stairs, Chris Cuomo, Fredo. But, yeah. If Trump threatened to throw people downstairs, I might say, well, maybe he shouldn't say that. I love how dare Chris Cuomo, he's not attacking President Trump for any crime because he's committed no crime, right? He doesn't like what the president says. And because he doesn't like what he says, he should be thrown out of the White House. Well, what about threatening to throw a man downstairs, Fredo?
Say that you don't like what he says. None of you will say he should not have said that about Nancy Pelosi. It was an ugly remark that is beneath the presidency.
About her false teeth slipping.
Is beneath the presidency.
Let me also say, it's our responsibility, whether we're in our homes or our communities or our conversations, to be more respectful with one another. I think that's what it really comes down to.
Because why would I take that message from you when you refuse to call out the person who says the ugliest things most constantly?
So I don't know if you called out Maxine Waters when she said go after them in gas stations.
Yeah. I like Sean Duffy.
Sarah Sanders.
Now the reason I'm playing this, now listen, at the end here, Fredo Cuomo is going to say something here which I want to talk about, so listen closely to the end here.
I can't believe that your argument is there are people who support the president who feel that he's taking too much criticism, so they are okay with him saying that Nancy Pelosi's teeth are falling.
That's a good one.
Where is your high ground morally if you won't call it out?
But do you think it's okay for Nancy Pelosi to call into question his manhood or to call him an imposter?
She says she prays for him every day.
Oh, now this is another one. This, you know, President Trump called Pelosi out in his historic letter yesterday to her. She prays for him every day. So now, first off, as Speaker of the House, is she violating that liberal myth, the sacred violation or sacred separation of the separation of church and state? She's the highest-ranking Democrat in the federal government. Is she violating the clause of separation of church and state by praying? Nancy Pelosi wants you to believe and expects us to believe that each and every day she gets out her rosary, gets on her knees, and prays for Donald Trump. Does anyone believe that? She may pray that he leaves office, right? She may pray that he gets removed from office by the Senate. But for her to suggest that she gets out the rosary and is praying every day for the good of Donald Trump, is there anyone who buys any of that? So Fredo's going to go on here. Listen.
Prays for him every day and doesn't hate him. Why can't he say something gratuitously nice? Remind me, Sean, are you a Christian?
Oh, okay. Now here's the part I want to play, the Christian part. Listen.
Why can't he say something gratuitously nice? Remind me, Sean, are you a Christian?
I think I am, yeah.
And your party, your party basically wants to make Christianity the religion of this country, but certainly the guiding light of its party. And this is my point.
We want the freedom of the freedom to
which often gets translated into the ability to discriminate against others. What I'm saying is this: if you want to hold yourself as a Christian, you can't make any of the arguments you're making right now.
Okay, so Chris Cuomo said a lot of crazy things there at the end. He says you can't defend Trump and be a Christian. Okay, that's number one. But however, Nancy Pelosi, she's a good Christian girl who supports abortion on demand, right? Even late-term abortion. But she's still a good Catholic girl who prays for President Trump's goodwill each and every day with her rosary beads. Oh my goodness! And then he slams. You know, here he is attacking President Trump for attacking groups, and he makes a terrible charge against Christians, which are the majority of people in America. He says that, now go back to, listen to what he said there under his breath. Very revealing. I thought he was Catholic too.
Wants to make Christianity the religion of this country, but...
See? Republican Christians want to make Christianity the religion of this country. And Duffy's taken off, thrown off by this. He says, no, we want freedom of religion. And then Cuomo comes back.
This country, but certainly the guiding light of its party. And this is my point.
We want the freedom of religion, the freedom to...
which often gets translated into the ability to discriminate against others.
Okay, that Christianity in America is about discriminating against others. That's what Chris Cuomo is. But President Trump should be condemned because he says things that are offensive. He just insulted the majority of The majority of Americans are Christians. Now, that doesn't mean that they go to church every week. But the majority of Americans believe in Jesus and consider themselves to be Christian, even though they may not be church-going folk, okay? Or read the Bible or do any of those things. Or pray every day like Nancy Pelosi. That's one of the most terrible things I've ever heard from a news anchor ever say. That may be the worst thing I've heard a news anchor say about Christians. He wasn't talking about a Christian like Fred Phelps, for example, in Nutcase. He was talking about all Christians in America want to discriminate against others and make Christianity the law of the land, that we want a theocracy. By the way, Nancy Pelosi, you just told us, Fredo, is a Christian. She prays every night for the president, or prays every day for the president. Does she want to have only one religion, Christianity? Does she want to she's a Christian too. Catholics are Christians. The first Christians. Well, not exactly. Well, maybe. maybe. Wow. Fredo's losing it, man. He's got a lot of anger issues. Oh, boy. 18 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. Fredo's losing it. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for that, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles around just because of his extraordinary skills and his caring bedside manner. Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan for a no-charge consultation by calling 305 area code 680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com. Tell him you heard it on the Steve Kane Show.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
Many people are suffering with depression, anxiety, addiction, trauma, loneliness, low self-esteem, and problems with intimacy. Day and night, they struggle to make it through. If you're feeling overwhelmed, confused, frustrated, lost, and fear never being able to find satisfaction in your intimate relationships, it's time to be proactive. Call me. Let's talk. I am Dr. Janae Lomaski, a licensed psychologist. You can reach me at 561-777-2021. That's 561-777-2021. Or you can find my number at stevekaneshow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. You know, not only am I not going to watch this garbage today, I think the same should extend to the Senate trial itself, because I've heard on a number of occasions on the cable news since this started that this is going to be like the trial of the century, even though we're only 19 years into the century, right? That the ratings are going to go through the roof. Well, I don't want to be a party to that. Do you want to help this Trump-hating media have ratings that go through the roof? They're probably doing ad buys right now at incredibly inflated rates, assuming a high ratings number, which increases the price for the television spots during the impeachment trial. I don't think we should watch the trial either. I'm not going to watch today. I'm going to turn on today when the vote comes in to see the reactions. And I'm going to flip through I'm going to flip from Fox, CNN, and MSNBC back and forth, back and forth. I want to see the reactions on their faces when the votes come in. And they can have the headline, breaking news sirens, Donald Trump impeached, third president in history, and all the crap they're going to say. Because I want to see how excited they are. But I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to be a party. You know, in the old days, it didn't matter. You know, you could watch all day and not be counted in the ratings back in the days of the Nielsen box. But now, everyone is a Nielsen family with your cable box. Oh, yeah, Rob in the YouTube live chat room said watch it on C-SPAN. That's an alternative. Yeah, C-SPAN's all right. Watch it on C-SPAN. Although I question when they have their conservative line and independent line on their call-in show. Seems like everyone's independently liberal and conservatively liberal to me. But anyway, yeah, C-SPAN's a good alternative. Don't give the ratings to CNN, Fox, or MSNBC. One of the reasons they're pushing this is to help them with ratings and generate revenue. Don't be a party to that. They were even talking, it's going to be the ratings blockbuster, the biggest ratings. Now, Trump's rally tonight, now that's a different story. That's going to be a blockbuster. And the rally, I watched the Trump rallies on Right Side Broadcasting on YouTube. And you should too. Right Side Broadcasting on YouTube. You can watch it on your mobile device or anywhere. They cover every Trump rally. And I'm not going to watch it even. If Fox News carries the rally, I'm not going to watch the rally on Fox. Or you know what? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe we should boycott the proceedings today and the trial, but watch the rally so there's a ratings comparison showing that when Trump's on, the ratings are through the roof. I don't know. What should we do about that? Well, I usually watch on Right Side Broadcasting anyway. But that's where I choose to watch it. But do not watch the coverage today. And I really think we should not watch the impeachment trial. Let's do our best to wreck it and make it a ratings disaster for them. Because if the ratings are record ratings today and during the trial, that's even if he's acquitted, that's like a vindication for that. See, look, people are interested. No, let's not help them. A lot of people cut the cable. I can't cut the cable. I'd like to cut the cable, but I've got to be able to have access to all the news all the time, beyond just the internet, because of my job. I can't cut the cable, and I just can't cut I don't watch too much TV. I have Xfinity. If I watch things on television, it's streaming. I usually watch streaming services, like Hulu, Disney Plus now, that Apple TV thing they got, that Apple Plus, which I like. A couple of anybody watch C on Apple? Oh my goodness, For All Mankind. They have very good shows on the Apple TV channel. I don't watch broadcast television all that much. The handful of shows I watch from broadcast television, I usually pick up on Hulu. But I don't want to give them rating success for this impeachment. Look at what's happened in the NFL. Breitbart does an incredible series. They did it last year. They're doing it this year, about how empty the seats are at NFL games. The NFL alienated their fan base, and they have empty seats, and they have lower ratings than they've ever had in the NFL. They turn people off the NFL with their politics. And cable news should be the same. I remember when Glenn Beck was on Fox. Fox was different, and cable news was different when Beck was on. When Beck was on in that 5 o'clock show, it was always, every day was a crisis, right? Remember, if those of you remember this, we used to talk about this on the air at the time. And Glenn Beck, he's changed his tone a lot. But when he was doing that Fox show, the end is coming, the collapse is coming, and remember all that stuff? And he was causing people to be in a panic and living in fear. And I've come to realize that all the cable news have adopted that Glenn Beck formula. And even if you follow the cable news and you follow what is going on in the cable news, okay, the way that they design it is to keep you in a panic, to keep you scared, to keep you unsure of the future. And a lot of it's a horse race and ratings tactic to keep you watching segment after segment. But, one thing has changed with me a lot in the age of Trump. I'm not interested in hearing the other side on the issues anymore. And when I turn on the cable news and they're giving me the liberal position, I'm not interested in hearing it. I'm just not interested in it. I have to follow it to a certain extent because of my job, but I'm not interested in hearing any liberal talking about Trump because it's not even credible. It's disagreement because they hate him. They're taking a position just because they feel the liberal position is to be anti-Trump. It's not even heartfelt, meaningful, disagreeing analysis. So I'm just not interested in it. And earlier, one of the callers earlier said there's only one political party, and that is true. The Republicans and the Democrats are one political establishment who have switched the presidency every couple of terms with one another. And Donald Trump is truly, making the Republican Party its own party. I remember when he was running for the nomination, the Republicans made this big deal that they wanted him to sign sign a pledge to support the Republican platform. And he did. Remember that? The Republicans' worst nightmare is that the Republican platform will be accomplished. He's doing it. Look at the border, for example. Right? And, the Democrats have an operation we talk about a lot on the right that, for example, the Dreamers. Trump offered a solution to give the Dreamers a permanent status, and the Democrats stopped it. They didn't want that. The reason they don't, the Democrats don't want this is just one example of the point. The Democrats don't want the Dreamers to have a permanent status because they want them constantly in an unsure, fearful state and dependent upon them, right? The Republican establishment is very much the same. The Republican establishment, when it comes to the Republican platform, prior to Trump, not one Republican really wanted to fix the border issue. They want to keep that as an issue to keep us rallying towards them for help. And the Republican Party's worst nightmare is that Trump will accomplish the Republican Party platform because they don't want it accomplished. And Trump's changing the Republican Party, and he's got a lot of good people like Ron DeSantis and Rick Scott and others that are making the Republican Party what it's supposed to be, not an extension of the Democrat Party establishment. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. 31 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We'll be right back.
Did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware But as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to 1 pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes.
Steve Kane
They're
Show.
stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to
Hold on.
stop diabetic foot problems before they begin.
Steve Kane Show. All right, hold on.
Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesouleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Hey ladies, are you suffering from the signs and symptoms of menopause? Stop suffering and visit Dr. Mitch Matez. Talk to him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy will reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. Your mood swings will disappear. You know, you're angry and want to hit someone and then cry the next minute. Those moods will be gone. You will feel amazing, happy, sane, and normal. Your night sweats gone. That foggy brain will be lifted. You will sleep better, and you're not going to need that afternoon cup of coffee or a nap anymore. When your hormones are out of whack, you have zero interest in sex. You will get your libido and sexual desire back. Your husband or boyfriend will be a happy man. Call Dr. Matez for a free consultation. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Yes, yes. We are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's Impeachment Wednesday. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. It's Juan.
Hey, Juan. What's up?
You know, good morning. Yeah, Brian, give me your take on this. Donald Trump, if he brokers a deal with the Hispanic, like pretty much like MLK brokered a deal with LBJ, and ever since then, the African Americans have been voting in droves. Even though it was the Republicans that passed it in the Senate. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, which Donald Trump probably sees, to give amnesty, but also not amnesty, but close
Steve
down
Kane
the
Show.
border, which is what's never been done. Not even Ronald Reagan.
Steve Kane Show.
He gave him the
Hold
amnesty,
on.
but he didn't close the borders. But Donald Trump means to close the border.
Well, you know, Donald Trump, do you remember what Bill Clinton did when he was being impeached? Do you know what he did? When he was... No. What he did on the day of his impeachment, President Clinton did something terrible. Do you know what he did?
Iraq, an aspirin plant or something.
He killed people. Yeah, he killed people. He bombed Bill Clinton when the day that Bill Clinton was impeached. He bombed. He bombed a building in Iraq in the middle of the night. It was the intelligence. I think it was the I don't know if it was the aspirin factory. It was the intelligence agency of Iraq, and he did it at night, Iraq time, when everybody in the middle of the night. He killed the entire janitorial staff of the Iraqi intelligence agency when he did that, because they were the ones there doing cleaning. The intelligence officials were, back home with their harems. You know what I mean? And so Bill Clinton actually killed people on the day of his impeachment to try to change the news cycle with that bombing of that building in the middle of the night in Iraq. What a dishonorable person, right? Trump's having a rally tonight, but he's not going to be killing the janitorial staff of some building filled with janitors in Iraq like Bill Clinton did.
Right,
Steve Kane
and
Show.
that's what differentiates us. Like I
Steve Kane Show.
mentioned, the
Steve
fact
Kane
that
Show.
Donald Trump he actually is
Hold on.
working for the American people, trying to
Yeah.
do things for everybody.
Yeah.
And what and it's not, again, it's not amnesty that he wants to give to these DACA people. It's actually a solution.
Yeah. Well, since you mentioned Hispanics, you reminded me of something I wanted to bring up earlier. Did you see this latest blunder by Mayor Pete with Hispanics? Oh, okay. Now I'm going to read you the English translation of this because I don't want to give you my gringo white boy Spanish, okay? But Mayor Pete has a Hispanic outreach group, and they tweet and do things in Spanish. And they tweeted in Spanish, Mayor Pete's campaign, the phrase, and they did it in Spanish. I'm reading the English. The people untied will never be defeated. This is the exact phrase, word for word, that the communist regime used last month in Cuba. And it's a long-time communist phrase that's used by communist politicians throughout Latin America for years. So who's coming up with all these commie phrases for Buttigieg? This is an example of how the media operates. Do you think that's going to get any coverage today in the mainstream media, even if it wasn't for the impeachment? Of course not.
Not only will it not get any coverage, but the way they portray it is going to be something like, other than that. Again, that's if you want to go back to the Hispanic community, this is why these countries are all second and third world countries, because they're all socialist governments. They're all social.
Yeah, that's right.
Corrupt. We
That's right.
have corruption here in this country, but at least capitalism is what I portray to my socialist friends. I say capitalism can even support.
Well, the difference in the corruption in the American government and in places in the third world is that our corrupt government, they're just better at it. Because look at what Biden did with his son Hunter. That's how the whole government operates. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. You're on the radio. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I hear you. You called me. Once, twice. That's our liberal opposition, I guess, people. Welcome back. Yeah, so Mayor Pete blew it on that one. Unrelated story here. This is really a sad story. The Mormons are taking 400,000 out of the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts used to be a big deal. I was in Scouts. I was in Cub Scouts and Webelos, and after Webelos, I kind of got out of I got out of scouting. But, Boy Scout troops, man, that was some of the best times I had as a kid, was being in Boy Scouts. We went on hikes, we had our meetings, we, did all our work till we get our badges. It was a lot of fun. Any of you guys in Boy Scouts? And Boy Scouts has been struggling for a long time because, the gay activists with the openly gay scoutmasters, that was a problem. And then, a lot of people left over that. And then they started allowing girls to join the Boy Scouts. Just craziness. And things have gotten so liberal and metrosexual now that, there's not a lot of boys being raised out there, and they don't like to leave their house and do things that you do in scouting. It's terrible. And what has kept the Boy Scouts alive is the Mormons, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church. Mormons are big into scouting. And if you go through the ranks of Eagle Scouts, go back and find out how many of the Eagle Scouts of the last 50 years have been Mormon. Probably the majority of them. And the Mormons are so outraged by allowing girls and the gay scoutmasters and all this stuff that they're forming their own organization of scouting, and they're pulling all their Mormon boys out of scouting. The Boy Scouts, a sad thing, is going to go defunct. It's just going to be gone. It's just going to be gone one day. And it's a terrible thing because Boy Scouts, teach, well, they used to teach young guys a lot of things, right? It's almost like it's a fraternity for young guys, and they learn responsibility and citizenship, and you learn woodworking. Remember what's the derby called with the wooden cars that we used to do? Oh man, Pinewood Derby, all this stuff. It's so much fun, and the liberals have destroyed it. And you know what? They don't care because they're about social engineering, And the liberals have destroyed the Boy Scouts of America. And the Boy Scouts of America, well, it's going to be gone one day. And it's going to be one day soon, because with the Mormons pulling 400,000 out, that's about it. I mean, I remember when I was in elementary school. No, soapbox is the soapbox is the one there's the soapbox derby and Pinewood derby. One of them is a car you actually sit in. The other one is a little miniature car you made. I can't remember which is which now. But when I was in elementary school, the Boy Scout troops would go to the classrooms in our school and recruit. When's the last time the Boy Scouts have gone into a classroom of any of your kids or grandkids? Do they even do that anymore? It's so terrible. I can't remember the last time I've seen a boy walking around in a Cub Scout uniform in the neighborhood. It's been so long. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. Okay.
I just wanted to tell you guys, love what you do. Keep fighting the good.
Yes, yes.
You know, you guys are always in our prayers, and the best thing for this country is prayer. I wanted to get your take on
yeah.
You think about Black support growing for the 2020 election.
Well, the Republican Party is historically the party of African Americans. I mean, the Republican Party freed the slaves. The Republican Party passed the Civil Rights Movement in the Senate. The Republican Party has always been the party that's pro-black. It's the Democrats that have always been against you guys. I mean, that's that from the get-go. You know what the original Democrat community activist organization was, right? Do you know what it was?
The original
community activist. The KKK, that's right. Yeah, the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan was formed to oppress the black vote because blacks were voting Republican. Right? You know, and you know, the Ku Klux Klan, there's three periods of the Klan. The original founding, and there was a second rise of the Klan in the 1920s. And the reason the Klan rose again in the 1920s is because women got the right to vote. And now you had black women voting Republican. So they rose up to stop that. You know, so, you know, the Democrat Party has always been the party against blacks. It's always been the Republicans that have been out there advocating and helping black Americans. And any time you go through history with the Klan, when the Klan, the second or third, I guess it could be considered the third rise of the Klan, was in the 60s when the Civil Rights Movement began. So, you know, the Democrats have always been about oppressing. You know, and I'll tell you another thing here. Well, I appreciate your prayers. I hope they're real prayers, not like Nancy Pelosi's fake prayers for Trump. All right, appreciate the call. We'll take our last break of the day. It's Impeachment Wednesday. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. We'll be right back.
This is Steve Kane with an incredible special from our friends at Brighton Dental. 8 Emax veneers at Brighton Dental, just $49.99. All the other dentists in town charge $10,000 for the exact same veneers. 10 Emax veneers, $59.99
exactly.
At Brighton Dental. These are the very same veneers that other dentists in town are charging $12,000 for. Get the Hollywood smile you have always dreamed of. Call Brighton Dental at 954-922-4633.
Hey guys, this is Kathy, Brian's wife. Last year I got Brian a MyPillow for Christmas and it was his favorite present.
That's right, Kathy. In fact, I loved MyPillow so much, I got you one and Emily one the following week. And then a few months later, I got a MyPillow pet bed for our dog, Nina.
Our entire household sleeps on a MyPillow, and I have to say, a MyPillow will give you the best sleep of your life.
It's not just hype. There's a reason the MyPillow is so popular. It will actually help you sleep deeper, and you will wake up rested.
If you're looking for the perfect gift for someone you care about, a MyPillow is the way to go.
And if you know someone with pets, a MyPillow pet bed is a great gift.
There are so many awesome products at MyPillow.com. You're bound to find the perfect gift for everyone on your list, and they can be shipped directly to the recipient.
When you order at MyPillow.com, make sure to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for great radio discounts like the BOGO 2-for-1 MyPillow offer. Buy one MyPillow and get the second one for free when you use the promo code KANE. And pet beds, just $99. $19.99 when you use the promo code KANE at checkout.
This Christmas, make it a MyPillow Christmas.
Order at mypillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879. From our house to your house. Merry Christmas.
No reimbursed payments up to a total of $1,800. Please don't purchase an MSRP on approved product. Excludes tax tag time. Includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer ends 12/31/19.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the rematch of the praise fight of the century. In this corner, the reigning five-time champ, Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014. 18 for SCT, and in this corner, challengers from every other manufacturer. The challengers come out swinging, but Toyota of Hollywood delivers a crushing blow by selling Toyotas at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 Camry SE, not $28,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $21,000, $12,775. Buy any new Toyota and we'll make your payments for 12 months. At Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Listen to the Steve King Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. It's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca for the Morning Gold Report. William Youngerman, good morning. Great. How are the metals?
We're looking a little weak today on a bit stronger U.S. dollar for the last couple of days. Had a little bit of a pullback. Gold yesterday closed down just 20 cents. It's closing at $14.75.60. Silver was down 4 cents, back under that $17 resistance area at $16.98 the ounce. Platinum lost $2 at $9.25. Big loser, palladium dropping $27, but we see these big swings in this very volatile metal, dropping $27 back down to $1,933 after poking its head above 2,000 this week. Gold right now down $3.60 at $1,472 the ounce. So far we haven't tested that 1470 area this morning, but it seems to be holding right now. Silver down another 10 cents at $16.85. Platinum unchanged at $9.25. And palladium down $20 at $1,913 the ounce. So basically a little bit of pullback after we've had a nice run. But the trade seems to be looking at the strength of the U.S. dollar, and we need it.
That's interesting that the dollar is so strong when our president is being impeached on the same day. I guess it means that he's going to stay in office. Listen, give William Youngerman a call. It's toll-free from anywhere. 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, williamyoungerman.com. And, of course, you can stop in person in Boca, located on the first floor of the Bank of America building, William Youngerman Incorporated's offices, just immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow. All right, take care. Yeah, you look at some of these economic indicators as if the United States was being run by a criminal who was abusing his power to intimidate other countries for his own personal political gain, do you think the market would be doing so well? Do you think the dollar would be strong? Of course it wouldn't. Of course it wouldn't. If our president was going to be removed, would it be? Yeah, this is just. I just saw something during the break on the Drudge Report that just, it's so sad because I used to be such a big fan of the Drudge Report, and I'm not the only one now. I've been talking about this for a while, but I've noticed a lot more are out there talking about how the Drudge Report has lost its way. A lot of people wonder if Matt Drudge sold the Drudge Report. And, there was that time where the first stop for news each and every morning was the Drudge Report, and they've lost it. And I just went to the Drudge Report. You got to check it. A lot of it's out of habit. I think it's out of habit. So many years of going to the Drudge Report, it's just like a habit to go there now. Listen to this. This is crazy. Okay? So, of course, everything on the headlines are about impeachment. And there's at the top left of the Drudge Report, you can go there right now and see this. Merry Christmas, you're impeached. And there's 4 pictures of 4 presidents. Merry Christmas, you're impeached. Top left of the Drudge Report right now. There's a photograph of Donald Trump, President Clinton, President Andrew Johnson, who I wouldn't recognize in a photograph. I only know it's Andrew Johnson because it says you're impeached and Bill Clinton's there. But there's a 4th photograph. Merry Christmas, you're impeached. Headline on Drudge, a photograph of President Trump, President Clinton, and President Andrew Johnson. There's a 4th photograph. Do you know who the 4th photograph is of? Richard Nixon, who was not impeached. If Matt Drudge were running the headlines or overseeing it, would Richard Nixon be there? He was not impeached, but they got him up there. And one of the reasons they throw Richard Nixon up there, there's several reasons why, but one of the reasons they lie and throw Richard Nixon up there that he was impeached when he wasn't impeached, we don't even know that he would have been impeached. Oh, he would have if he wouldn't have resigned. We don't know that. And the vote never happened. We don't know what would have happened. It was a phony impeachment just like today. But anyway, if you break that down, they want to break it down. They want to tell you that Nixon, who was not impeached, was impeached. But that means 3 presidents, with their lie, 3 presidents who were impeached were Republican and only 1 Democrat. Like it's a Republican thing to get impeached. That's why they throw Andrew Johnson in there a lot of times. I'm thinking whoever's doing the Drudge headlines just is uninformed and thinks that Richard Nixon was actually impeached. That's just terrible. Richard Nixon was a good guy. He was a great president. He was a great vice president, and he did a good job. And they tarnish his reputation, and they lie and say he was impeached. They've only recently been telling us that Bill Clinton was impeached. They were covering that up for a long time in the media because since it was 21 years ago, there's a generation or 2 of voters who don't have a recollection of that period, or maybe they were even born after, so they don't know. Andrew Johnson, Clinton, Trump, and Nixon. Come on. Merry Christmas, you're impeached. That's just what happened to the Drudge Report. There's no, I just saw a list this morning of the most influential people in media, and 2 or 3 on the list was Matt Drudge. I don't think Matt Drudge would let that photograph be up there. There was a rumor on Twitter that he sold the Drudge Report. I don't know. But I do miss the Drudge Report. I really do. I do. It was the go-to place. You would get all the information. Yeah, Trump isn't even impeached yet. 12 hours from now, that won't be the case, probably. Even less than 12 hours. Here's the other headline. Trump on the brink. Dems have the vote. And then McConnell sets a firewall. Well, McConnell is holding firm for now, and let's hope that he continues. But, you got to watch these, Trump said yesterday he's never seen Republicans so united, right? And that's true. Let's hope they remain that way. I saw the president speaking in the White House yesterday, and Acosta was there, and he asked him, does he feel any responsibility? Let me see if I can pull that up. Let me see here. This is Trump yesterday.
It's a total sham. When you have a guy like Schiff go out and make up a statement that I made, he said, this is what he said, but I never said it. He totally made it up. In Guatemala, they handle things much more different, much tougher than that. And because of immunity, as House immunity, because of immunity,
I know, this whole process is disgusting.
his statement and totally made it up. It was a lie. It was a fraud. And you just can't do those things. So, look, this has been a total sham from the beginning. Everybody knows it. I've never seen the...
Acosta's going to come in and ask a question in a minute.
Well, the last vote, as you know, we got 100% of the vote. I believe the Senate is equally as well united. I watched Mitch McConnell this morning. I watched numerous people last night, senators, and I think we're equally well united. It's a witch hunt.
I hope he's right.
The continuation has been going on now for almost 3 years. And it probably started before I even won the election, based on what we're finding out with the insurance policy quotes and other things. So it's a disgrace. Yeah, he can decide. And we'll also have to decide on when we're taking the vote for the USMCA. Very big, very important deal. Very, very important deal with Mexico, Canada, ourselves. We're going to have to decide whether or not that comes first or second. To me, I'd let the Senate decide on that.
That's Acosta. Mr. President, do you take any responsibility for the fact that you're going to be impeached? And you hear his tone. You know, one of the best decisions President Trump made was to end the daily White House press briefings. And here you got Acosta off mic. That's the first time I've heard Acosta, it seems like, I think, in months. And President Trump has made the White House press corps so irrelevant these days, hasn't he? Yeah. They don't have their sound-biteable, let me try to be trending on Twitter moments anymore. And Jim Acosta, pretty much MIA these days. All right, guys, listen, we're all out of time for today. It is Impeachment Wednesday. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow at 6 a.m. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. Take care. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe if you don't, all right? And I will see you guys later. Thanks.